In Connecticut, police again in New London saying they have turned that investigation over to federal agents who reportedly have already interviewed Cole's brother. Now, the mayor of Torrance has also issued a statement saying we are aware of reports identifying the suspect as a resident of Torrance. While that connection is deeply troubling, one individual's alleged actions do not define our city or the values of the more than 143,000 residents who call Torrance home. Now, reportedly, there is a manifesto, a document that Cole Allen sent to his family members, including that brother in Connecticut. We hope to learn more about what was said there, which supposedly details the reasons behind the assassination attempt. And we hope to learn more once he faces that federal judge. Reporting live in Torrance, I'm Gigi Graciette. Back to you.
And so investigators, Gigi, have completely left the home now. You mentioned that there were some reporters there, but you would think as part of the investigation, they still might be going through the home looking for clues of what led up to this?
They did a pretty thorough job. I'm told they obtained a search warrant. They did leave with reported bags of possible evidence, but no, they're not here. Torrance police. I'm going to ask photographer Carlos Jacinto sort of just to pan over the right, and you can just get a look at all of the media. And this is not only local media. Of course, we have national members of the media here today covering it. There we see photographers waving at our camera, local media friends here. So no sign of police. Torrance police was out here Saturday. They were sort of trying to keep things in order. They had the street blocked off so all those federal agents could move in. But no sign of them today. Everything is quiet here, except for, of course, us.
Well, certainly that neighborhood's been turned upside down this morning. Gigi, thank you.
Thank you, Gigi. This morning, investigators are poring over that manifesto, allegedly written by Cole Allen.
Right, so Mario's here. More we're learning about the suspect through that manifesto, which was coherent. Sometimes flippant.
Yeah, and very detailed as well. Bob, Jen, good morning. So Gigi mentioned this briefly, but let's dig into a little more. As the investigation continues and he awaits his first court appearance, officials are also focused on his writings, or I should say emails. Law enforcement officials say Allen sent a manifesto to family members shortly before the attack. In it, he reportedly called himself the friendly federal assassin and said he wanted to target Trump administration officials, prioritize them from highest ranking to lowest while excluding FBI Director Kash Patel. The writing mocked security at the hotel, expressing shock that he was able to walk in with multiple weapons without being stopped earlier. Investigators have retrieved his phone and other electronics and are seeking search warrants as they look into his digital footprint and motive. So Cole Allen's manifesto, obtained by the New York Post, it was roughly 1,100 words long and was reportedly sent to family members just 10 minutes before the attack at the White House Correspondents Dinner. In it, he reportedly laid out his rules for engagement, detailing why he was going after members of the Trump administration. Now, from the manifesto, investigators say the suspect laid out administration officials ranked again from highest to lowest, specifically excluding the FBI director, referencing Secret Service agents, writing that they would only be targeted if necessary, and claiming that he wanted to disable them non-lethally if possible. Authorities now examining that full document as they work to determine more of a motive and predetermination here. Now, in another section of the alleged manifesto, the suspect appeared to distinguish between intended targets and bystanders. The document stating, again, hotel security, Capitol Police, and National Guard were not to be targeted unless they opened fire. So as we continue to talk about this, federal officials say they believe Allen acted alone, and the big question, what could have led a man described locally as quiet, smart, and polite to be accused of one of the highest profile security breaches in the country, Jen and Bob.
There's how you present yourself in public, and of course what happens behind closed doors. What do we know about any family involvement with this manifesto? I know he sent it to family, emailed it 10 minutes before the attack actually happened.
Yeah, well, we know it was sent, as you mentioned, 10 minutes before the dinner. His brother reportedly sent a notification or alerted local authorities out of Connecticut. And we should also mention that his sister as well, they've been interviewed, both of them, by the Secret Service and federal officials, also noting that he reportedly mentioned a history of radical statements. So we know that federal agents were also at that Torrance home. That's also part of the investigation.
Reading more of this manifesto, which was obtained exclusively by the New York Post, you mentioned before, he was like mocking security. He says the security at the event is all outside, focused on protesters and current arrivals, because apparently no one ever thought about what happens if someone checks in the day before. Like, this level of incompetence is insane, and no doubt that's going to be one of the big focuses is security, and how was someone able to get that close to that ballroom?
Yeah, again, one of the other big questions, as a lot of questions are being raised about exactly how this played out. Should there have been more protocol in place? But they are looking at digital and forensic evidence tied to this as well. They reportedly collected electronics and laptops. So looking at the timeline, the minutes and hours before leading up to this, and what may have triggered, you know, this action of violence.
Right, how much runway they had. Also, I mean, thinking about the upcoming 250th celebration of America and all the different events, like the World Cup here in Los Angeles is happening pretty soon. When you think about security, certainly that's something you have to keep in mind there.
Yeah, pretty alarming. This is supposed to be one of the most secure events in the country. And to see this happen is, you know, raising concerns for so many people, I'm sure.
Of course.
All right. Thank you, Mario.
Thank you, Mario.
And do keep it here on Good Day LA for continuing coverage of the White House Correspondents Dinner shooting. You can read more about the suspect from Torrance and the investigation on our Fox Local app or foxla.com. We'll be right back. Our top stories this morning: the man accused of opening fire just outside the White House Correspondents Dinner with President Donald Trump in attendance is expected to appear in court today. Investigators identified the suspected gunman as 31-year-old Cole Allen of Torrance. Agents treating this as an act of political violence, saying the suspect had a manifesto in which he railed against the Trump administration.
The LAPD investigating a brazen home invasion in Panorama City. Police say a parent was home with their children when two intruders broke into their home on Cedros Avenue around 10:30 last night. The family stayed hidden after the suspects threatened to shoot them if they moved. Police say the suspects ransacked the home before escaping with stolen property. Fortunately, no one was hurt.
Roving street takeovers in the San Fernando Valley kept LAPD busy overnight. This one was in Arleta. A group of about 100 took over at least 4 intersections across the valley at different times. LAPD would show up and push them out, but by then they would regroup at a different intersection. Police say there were no arrests or injuries.
We continue to follow that teacher's strike in the Little Lake School District.
Yeah, Brooke is here with the latest on this. Good morning.
Hey there, good morning. Yeah, so the strike is entering its third day. It's third week, I should say. But there is hope. Both sides are returning to the bargaining table today. And there's going to be a new face pulling up a chair. The school board named Monica Johnson interim superintendent after a marathon emergency meeting Sunday. Johnson had been assistant superintendent of education services. She's been a teacher, a principal at 2 schools in the district. She's replacing the district's top leader, Jonathan Vasquez, who retired suddenly Friday, citing health reasons. He had previously said he would leave in the summer. Teachers are holding out for better health benefits and smaller classes and more support for special education programs. But the district is warning of a tightening budget, saying if they overspend, the state can take over, and that would mean losing local control. The union is also seeking to recall all 5 members of the district's Board of Education. The district serves students in portions of Santa Fe Springs, Norwalk, and a small part of Downey. Johnson called her new appointment a new phase towards a resolution. And when it comes to negotiations specifically, she says, quote, "We are engaging with urgency." And clearly entering its third week, that's what's needed.
Yeah.
It's gotta be so tough for families, you know, in the Santa Fe Springs, Norwalk, and Downey. But yeah, they continue to hire substitute teachers.
That's so interesting because that's typically been something hard to do.
Yeah.
You know, people essentially crossing picket lines. But that's how they're able to keep the school open and keep kids in the building.
Yeah.
3 weeks.
That's a fascinating part of this. Yeah. 3 weeks is a long time.
It is.
All right. Thank you, Brooke. Over to you, Maria.
Yeah, let's talk about our new work week, new school week weather here. We've got some clouds, some lingering moisture from the storm system that rolled through here this past weekend and brought some showers, depending on where you were. A little less, a little more, or some none at all. The latest on our satellite and radar pictures, you can see blips of green on the radar. It's really dwindling, though. We're looking at some improving conditions and diminishing shower chances as we get through the rest of the morning and into the afternoon. 57 currently downtown LA, 56 in Burbank. It is 29 in Big Bear. There's definitely more of the clear skies there. 56 in Palm Springs. High temperatures today will range anywhere from that 78 Palm Springs in the low desert. It's a little cooler than average for most areas. High desert areas 65. Still some breezes out there. 48 in the mountains. And as we take a look at downtown LA today, below normal with that high expected to be around 66 degrees. Even cooler than yesterday. 70 degrees for the valleys on the Inland Empire and 66 along the coast. So make sure you grab that sweatshirt and get the kids warm before they head out the door. All right, it's time now to check in on traffic. Let's go up to Stu and Sky Fox to get an update on our drive this morning. A happy Monday to you, Stu.
Hey, happy Monday to you too, Maria. And Skybox traffic being brought to us by My Home Sold. Skybox back over the Alhambra area. Taking a look at that 10 drive. Now, if westbound you ride from the 605 into the city, give yourself a little extra time. But if you're going eastbound, ooh, look at that. Wide open and moving well. Now, let's say you want to make your way to Whittier. You're going to go south on that 605, that 605 drive. That's a little slow and go today. Just really high volume. But getting to the 605 from Alhambra on that eastbound 10, wide open and moving well. Let's take a look at some traffic hotspots.
Hello, I'm Adrian Hernandez with MyHomeSold.com, and we want to buy your house cash. We save you money with no commissions, no fees, no repairs, for free, no obligation, as is cash offer. Go to MyHomeSold.com.
Thousands of pairs of electrically heated socks sold at Costco are being recalled because of potential burn injuries. The socks were sold in Costco stores and Costco.com from August of 2025 through March of 2026. 32 degrees heat, that's the name of the socks. It appears on the packaging. If you have these, stop using them and return them to Costco for a full refund.
All right, so Southern California's hiking season is back, but so is a venomous hidden danger. Experts warn that rattlesnake season is officially in full swing. It starts in April. So according to the California Post, here are some local hotspots where you're most likely to encounter a rattlesnake. And don't go because on the chance that you're going to see one either. Malibu Creek State Park, that's a prime habitat for the southern Pacific rattlesnake. Joshua Tree is home to 7 species that blend in perfectly with the desert terrain. Also be careful in the San Bernardino National Forest, where sightings are common across all 800,000 acres. And there's also Chino Hills State Park, which is home to both the southern Pacific and red diamond snakes. To stay safe, officials say stick to marked trails, wear high boots, and avoid reaching into tall grass or rock crevices. They love hiding in the cracks, under rocks. You know a rattlesnake if you don't already hear them. By the time you approach, you know them by their heads are shaped like diamonds.
They rattle too.
And they but not always.
They don't?
Not always. If you, for example, if you step on one by accident, there's not going to be a rattling. They're just going to bite you. Yeah. And now a third person, by the way, has died.
I saw one a couple of years ago at Topanga State Park, and we were walking our dog, and I see in the distance, he was huge. And some women, 2 women were walking this way. They didn't see it. It was right in front of them, and I just saw it go across the trail.
And here's the thing, this is important. If you're going to go for a hike like that, which is kind of remote, always bring a big stick with you. That's the only way you're going to be able to prevent otherwise, if you get bitten and you're somewhere remote, depending on how much venom, that you could die very easily if you're far enough away from a hospital. But either way, if you get bitten by a rattlesnake, that's an immediate trip to the hospital.
You're like a rattlesnake expert.
I am, and you'll see why. You'll see why later on this week.
A lot about rattlesnakes all of a sudden.
Yeah.
The fabled 2-hour barrier for a marathon has officially been broken.
And today, Sebastian Sarway has taken London Marathon by the scruff of the neck, and he has sprinted away from a world-class field. It's Sarway versus the clock. He's going to do it. We are going to see a legal sub-2-hour marathon to Sebastian Sarway. It's the world record by nearly a minute.
He doesn't even look like he's breathing hard.
Unbelievable.
This is crazy.
It was so easy for him.
Kenyan Sebastian Sarway crossing the finish line at the London Marathon in 1 hour, 59 minutes, and 30 seconds.
Incredible.
30 seconds. He broke that. It shattered the previous men's world record by more than a minute. What might be the most incredible part of this, the second place runner also broke the 2-hour barrier, finishing just 11 seconds.
And it was that person's first marathon.
The second second place? That is crazy.
Unbelievable.
They're not even breathing hard. Like, that is insane. I run like 3 miles. And I'm like, ow. I'm just so winded.
And I'm like, speaking of the emergency room, I got to go to the hospital. I know. Yeah. Oh, incredible. I'll be right back.
That's amazing.
Yeah. All right, good morning. Welcome to Good Day LA. It's 7:30 on this Monday. We have a lot to get to. We are learning more about the White House Correspondents Dinner shooting suspect, Cole Allen.
Let's get right to Gigi Graciette. She's joining us live from Torrance outside Allen's home. Gigi, good morning.
That's right. There is a California connection to the shooting in Washington, D.C. Good morning, everyone. We're live in Torrance this morning, and this is the last known address for Cole Allen, where he reportedly lived with his parents, his sister, and at one point his younger brother, who apparently is playing also a very important role in this investigation because, according to reports out of Connecticut and confirmed by police, he called them on Saturday to tell them he was concerned his brother was involved in the shooting. Take a look. We're also learning more about Allen. He's a well-educated teacher and tutor turned assassination suspect. And within hours of the shooting in Washington, D.C., federal agents arrived here at his home in Torrance. His parents reportedly not wanting to let the agents in Saturday night, but eventually relented, leaving the home to be searched for possible evidence. Those who knew Allen describe him as quiet, gentle, and again, extremely intelligent. The kind of person they say they never would have suspected to be connected to something like this.
No, nobody wants anyone bad living that close by, right? So, yeah, I don't, you know, and once again, it's allegations. We don't know the true story, but it seems pretty horrendous so far.
And again, police in New London, Connecticut, confirming that they received a call on Saturday. The Associated Press reports it was Cole's younger brother who made that call. They immediately investigated and called in federal agents who also went to Connecticut to interview the person who said he had information on Cole Allen possibly being involved in that shooting. It is believed that Allen sent out what's being called a manifesto to family members telling them what he was going to do. Now, the mayor of Torrance has also issued a statement saying that we are aware of reports identifying the suspect as a resident of Torrance. While that connection is deeply troubling, one individual's alleged actions do not define our city or the values of the more than 143,000 residents who call Torrance home. And bringing it back here live again, police in Connecticut say they've turned over that investigation to federal agents who did interview the person who said he had important information. It is believed to be Allen's younger brother, who also lived here in Torrance at one point. Reporting live, I'm Gigi Graciette. Back to you.
Gigi, forgive me if you mentioned this already, but does he have any kind of, Cole Allen, does he have any kind of criminal background that police are digging into?
Not that we know of. We have put in a call to FBI Los Angeles to try and get a little bit more information from them. But again, every single person who's had interactions with him, it's interesting. They all independently use the words extremely intelligent when they're talking about him. Neighbors here describe him as kind, as gentle. And so this really comes as a surprise to those who were close to him, apparently.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, Gigi, thank you.
Thank you, Gigi. It is 7:34. Let's get to Marie with a look at our forecast today. We had like below average temperatures this weekend. It was a little cool.
It was a little chilly, yeah. And it's going to continue today as far as daytime highs staying slightly below the average. It is drying out, though. That's the good news. We had some showers over the weekend, depending on where you're at. Here's a live look outside right now. This is Santa Monica, and kind of a mix of some sunshine and some clouds. We do have some improving weather here with diminishing showers from the isolated showers that we saw earlier this morning. We do have another opportunity for some light showers. It's a slight chance at this point, but late Wednesday into Thursday, we do have another system that will be moving nearby, and then dry, warmer conditions as we get to Friday and Saturday. In fact, we'll dip back up to above average. As far as rain totals, they were impressive. If you were up in the mountains like Running Springs, a little over 2 inches of rain, and then we had some snow as well up in Big Bear, up at the high elevations. Hawthorne, a little over ½ inch of rain this weekend. San Gabriel, a third. Costa Mesa, about 0.2 of an inch in Ontario. a little less than 1/10 of an inch of rain. So we had a couple of cool days this weekend. So a couple of blue boxes, as you can see here, Saturday and Sunday, both in the upper 60s. Today will likely be another blue box as we round out the last week of April. The average is 73, so we'll be running below that. That sun will set at 7:34 later this evening. Here are the highs we're expecting today, anywhere from 78 in Palm Springs. So it is cooler even in the low desert areas. Upper 60s in Pasadena, Ontario. You'll need that sweatshirt, especially as you head out the door this early morning hour. 65 in Santa Monica to that 70 degrees in Woodland Hills. When I come back, I'll show you the 70 forecast plus your pictures in today's TV shout-out. So stay tuned for that. Back to you.
All right, Maria, thank you. Well, the countdown is on to the final episode of Starz Outlander. The 8th and final season of the show is now airing. The series finale drops May 15th. If you're not familiar with this, the show is a romantic thriller drama about time travel. It premiered back in 2014, and the show has a huge following.
And we have some exciting news for all those fans out there. The latest Paley Live event is going to be with the Outlander cast. This is happening on Wednesday, May 13th at the Dolby Theater. The event will include a screening of the very first episode from 12 years ago, followed by a conversation with the show's stars. Tickets go on sale today for members and May 1st for the general public.
Yeah.
They give them drinks.
Huge following for that show. And a lot of fans for Sam Heughan. Yeah. Heughan. Yeah, my friend who is from across the pond was giving me a lesson on how to say his name in the most authentic way.
I think I just coughed something up, actually.
It's like guttural.
Yeah.
Good morning, everyone.
Good morning.
Starting a new week. But you know, we're going to lasso up some hot topics. Entertainment sponsored by Yamava Resort and Casino. This weekend, country music took over the desert with Stagecoach, and it was a wind situation, especially Saturday night before Lainey Wilson. That's not a Beyonce fan.
That's pretty good,
was
though.
65-mile-per-hour winds.
Wow.
Attendees and those even streaming got that notice.
It added to the ambiance there.
Yeah, it kind of did,
cool.
like a music video. But the attendees on the grounds needed to temporarily evacuate the fairgrounds. About an hour later, fans were able to come back and saddle up for more country music, but I saw a lot of this on TikTok. The trees were swaying, the hats were blowing off people's heads.
Yeah.
You know, when you go there, and I've been to Stagecoach the last 2 years, not this year, but those bandanas, you wear them across your face.
It's like Dune.
Right, not just for the aesthetic. It actually is for function to cover you from the dust.
Right, and the tents. Everybody's like, oh, don't people pitch tents and stuff like that there?
Oh, yeah, outside in the parking lot, there's a lot of tailgating and everything. Yeah.
You know, someone did like a side, and I don't even know if this is real, because what's real on the internet anymore these days? Did a side-by-side of Coachella with Stagecoach and comparing the use of cell phones, and how people in the crowd at Coachella were like this the whole time, and people at Stagecoach were just enjoying themselves.
I would agree with that.
Okay.
As somebody who
you've been.
has been, as I would say Stagecoach is more for the experience, and you're going there to really let loose and have fun and dance and really take in the music. And I'm not saying those who went to Coachella, that's not what it's for, but it has become over the years a little more influence culture, and you've got to get content.
Right.
It's a little of an older demographic, though,
Excuse
too.
me?
Is it true or not?
I would say it's a blend. It's a blend. There are some
healthy blends.
Average.
I would say the
age.
average age for Stagecoach, from what I've seen, I would say
Coachella.
late 30s to early 50s.
Okay.
Yeah. For Stagecoach. For Coachella,
So I was right.
probably.
A little older.
Excuse me. There are still some.
You will not
some
say
hot
those
20
words out loud.
Yeah, there were some hot 20-something-year-olds at Stagecoach. At 2. Very hot in those cowgirl outfits. Well, Lainey Wilson turned the chaos into a core performance as only she can do on the main stage, MANE stage.
Y'all, we have been looking forward to this for some time now. We are so excited to be here, and thank y'all so much for sticking out the wind. Hopefully y'all sat in y'all's cars for a minute, drank some tequila.
Yeah.
Look at that outfit.
Look at that outfit. Woo-wee, honey.
know.
Hopefully y'all stayed in your cars, drank some tequila. Yeah. She performed a 90-minute set after the temporary evacuation Saturday night. And then night 3, post the windy wind down, came Post Malone.
You know the woman wants her cowboy like he wants
so wide of his knuckle, the golden buckle.
Excuse me, Bobby the Cowboy.
Who knew?
It's Garth Brooks. He's doing a Garth Brooks song. Rodeo.
Well, yes, but he did a couple covers, and Jake Worthington and Braxton Keith joined Post Malone to close out the festival for 2026 last night. He was wearing, as we like to affectionately call, a Canadian tuxedo. That's right.
So he didn't start off as a country music singer, right?
No.
Post Malone?
Yeah.
No.
But he just released his country album.
Ah.
He
F1
did,
Trillion.
didn't he? Wasn't he on Beyonce's Cowboy Carter?
He was.
And then he really full throttle leaned into the country
and
thing.
he performed with Morgan Wallen at Stagecoach. So yeah.
And he's a pretty good actor.
Yeah. I'm a fan of Post Malone.
He lost some weight and picked up a whole new genre.
That's right.
Right.
You know?
Right. I like him.
Yeah.
I'm a fan.
Hey,
It's a
Stu
roll
Bear.
of a Sunday crowd. It's the wide of his knuckle, the gold in his buckle. He'll win to the next go round.
Unbelievable.
Bobby the Cowboy.
Hey.
He looks good in a little cowboy hat.
Yeah, he does. Oh, hi, Stu.
I am just sitting here in awe. I am just sitting here in awe. That's all I got to say. Well, we got to do some traffic. This traffic report brought to us by Jacoby and Myers Injury Lawyers. Take a look at that 110. Oh, yeah, it's Monday and everybody's getting busy, and they're all doing it on the 110 freeway. North or southbound, very slow and go. From the 105 to the 10, if this is part of your ride, either direction, give yourself a little extra time. Plan accordingly so you get there when you need to be there. But I can tell you, add time, because to this morning, it's going to be a tough ride on that 110 through South Los Angeles. Let's take a look at some traffic hotspots.
If you've been injured in an accident, Jacoby and Myers will fight for the justice you deserve. And if we don't win, you won't pay a penny. We have earned the trust of tens of thousands of clients. Jacoby and Myers, because everyone deserves justice.
Welcome back. A special new statue is unveiled paying tribute to a sports icon.
It's a good one. It celebrates one of the all-time leaders in men's soccer. It's now for everyone to see at Dignity Health Sports Park. Sandra is here to tell us all about it.
What a moment. He is a U.S. soccer icon, an LA Galaxy original, playing for more than a decade with the team when Major League Soccer first formed in 1996. And then he led the U.S. national team in the most caps ever, played in 3 World Cups, the Olympics, and is a soccer Hall of Famer.
One. This is LA.
Wow, look at that. A bronze statue of Kobe Jones is now standing in front of the home of LA Galaxy, highlighting the tremendous career and contributions of the midfielder who elevated the game and so much more. Now, the statue is amazing. It captures his trademark dreadlocks and flair. I love the movement of it all. And joining me now to talk about this historic moment is Kobe Jones himself. Welcome. Good morning. I know it's been a whirlwind of activity and events for you, so thanks for waking up early for us.
No, of course. Thanks for having me here. It was a special day yesterday. Still feels fantastic inside.
I love that moment. The statue was unveiled and you were emotional watching it, be unveiled with all this fanfare. Tell us about that moment.
It was special to actually see it. You have a lot of nerves. There's a lot of anxiety to the build-up and everything that's happening within the week. But then when it finally came down, I was actually able to see it and see that it came together well. That was probably one of the most important parts, because I want it to be a great representation, of everything for generations to come.
Yeah, and it's going to stand just one of 3 statues right there at Dignity Health Sports Park, next to David Beckham, Landon Donovan, and now yours. Yours, people are saying, is the best one out there.
I'm biased, but I'll go with that. I'll go with that as well.
But I love what you said in your remarks yesterday at the ceremony, that this is going to symbolize people who ever doubt themselves or face barriers. Tell us about that in your journey through soccer.
Yeah, I think, obviously you can see the statue, and I hope, kids, that they can Google me, because they probably never saw me play. But it is one of those things where I hope that they can see and look at my story, because I was, in high school told, I was one of the worst players that, that a coach had ever seen. I was a walk-on at UCLA. I was cut 2 times from the Olympic team before I eventually made it. So there's a lot of barriers, in the path, and it's in everyone's path, and you tend to doubt at times, and just kind of leaning upon yourself, believing in your friends and family, and who you surround yourself with is so important. And I hope that statue, is kind of like that symbol, for all those people out there. They're like, hey, if he did it, you know what? I can do it as well.
Yeah, to overcome whatever you're doing. It doesn't have to be sport. It doesn't have to be soccer. But so many people face challenges in their life.
Exactly.
And you're a symbol of overcoming all of that, which is amazing. And we're looking at the statue given away yesterday to fans as they entered the game, Galaxy versus Real Salt Lake, right? So
Correct.
What a statue. I mean, a commemorative memento for so many fans that they took away with. So tell us all about how the sport has changed. You've been in the game for so long. You've seen so many different versions. The league just started when you entered MLS, right? So how has it changed now?
Well, it's definitely grown, which I think is absolutely fantastic. I mean, that was the goal of, those early years, and all the players that came back and participated was to help build this sport. So now, some of the big standouts for me is just the amount of money, of course, that's come into it. But we're looking at, playing in football stadiums to now we have soccer-specific stadiums, and Dignity Health Sports Park is, one of those, a perfect example, like a cathedral to the sport. And now we're even building training centers, for these teams, when back in the day we were trying to figure out, okay, where are we going to train, where are we going to practice? We didn't know. So this game, it's just become better. It's become more, I guess, accepted, within the broader community. I think that's one of the things that's important, that people kind of learn about the game, love the game, and fall in love with it, and it just continues to grow.
And here in America, there's now academies, right, developing the next generation of professionals. We did a whole story on LA Galaxy, really trying to harness that younger generation and all the energy and talent there. But compared to overseas, right, Europe and South America, We're going to see all of these big teams compete at the World Cup stage in just 45 days. Right here.
Yeah, it's exciting. Let's be honest. I mean, the last time the World Cup was here was in '94, and I always emphasize this, and people that remember it and how amazing it was then, it was 24 teams. This World Cup is going to be over 3 continents, but the majority in the U.S. with 48 teams, so it's going to be double in size. So the impact, will probably be double or triple, when it comes down to it. And I think if the U.S. team does well, that's when you really are going to have that exponential growth within the sport. And so the opportunity to build the game here in the U.S. is going to be so much more.
Yeah, 108 games we're talking about. Talk about Team USA, though, what we're expecting. We know that the captain, Christian Pulisic, right?
Yep.
He hasn't scored in quite a while. People are worried about that. What can we expect from Team USA?
Great things. Great things. Hey, look, I think everyone's got to be a bandwagoner at this point. You support your country. You support the U.S. team. Christian Pulisic, yeah, everyone goes through slumps I don't even know if I want to call it a slump, but let's look at this, a little bit subjectively. I'd rather have him have a slump now than as the World Cup comes around.
Right.
I think he's saving it all up, for the World Cup. But I mean, it's not just one player as well. You got the Weston McKennies, the Tyler Adams, all those players that are around him for support as well to have a successful run.
It's going to be great. They're going to be so excited that they're here on home turf, of course. And talk about real quick the ticket prices. A lot of people are unhappy about that.
Yeah, I mean, of course the ticket prices are expensive, but trust me, it's hard for me to keep up with everything that's coming around, but I keep seeing that there's more and more drops consistently, so I just hope that people understand that, yeah, some of the bigger games, it's going to be really expensive as always, but there's so many different games that you can go to. I always suggest you don't have to go to like the big, U.S. versus Paraguay or Germany versus whatever. Go see the smaller countries in some of these other stadiums and you will have a fantastic time because it's a cultural event that's coming here to the U.S.
It's the experience of it all.
Yes,
Thank you so much. And congratulations. There's something for everyone when the World Cup comes here to LA. So before you go, you have to weigh in on our daily poll question of the day. We are just 45 days out of the World Cup. So what are you looking forward to most? 24/7 soccer, Team USA pride, international fanfare, or money and eyes on LA? How would you vote?
Ooh, I'm just knowing how it is. How come there's no Team USA pride there? Okay, there it is. Okay. I'm going to try to bump that up. Team USA pride.
All right.
Right there. How's that?
Okay, I love it. You know what? It's hard to choose, right? All of them are good options. So make sure you vote in our poll today, and you don't want to miss that. All right, Maria, over to you.
Yeah, that's so awesome, and congrats to you, Kobe, for that statue. You've inspired so many, that is for sure, and continues to do so. We've got some nice weather here to talk about. Of course, we've got the rain that fell over the weekend. Some areas didn't get any, some got some. We even got some mountain snow. But now we're looking at some improving conditions and diminishing showers. Good Day LA weather is brought to you by My Home Sold. As we take a look at our numbers, though, today, if you are traveling, maybe heading into some severe weather, parts of the Midwest, really the bullseye today, Chicago, 67 degrees, 77 St. Louis, 58 Minneapolis, 81 in Nashville. Looking at the southeast, we're looking at 88 in Tampa, 94 in Dallas. So some very warm conditions there in Texas, 83 in Phoenix, to the cooler 66 expected here near downtown LA. There's an area of low pressure responsible for that precipitation over the weekend. Also some mountain snow. It's moving off to the east. But we're watching this area of low pressure now in the East Pacific, and this is going to maybe bring us another opportunity for some light showers. Slight chance at this point, 10 to 20% as we look ahead to late Wednesday into Thursday. The slow will be close enough to bring us a little bit of instability, and we're picking up some of that moisture here on the radar. So just heads up for the middle part of this upcoming work week. But today we're going to dry things out. We'll warm things up a little bit as we get into tomorrow, maybe Wednesday, before that little system moves in. Air quality alert through parts of the Coachella Valley, Palm Springs included. Indio, we've got some blowing dust and sand there because of those slightly stronger breezes. If you're headed to the beach, we are looking at a small west swell, 2 to 4 feet, Ventura County, LA beaches, and then 1 to 3 Orange County, as well as San Diego. Here's our 7-day forecast as we try to break it down for you. 66 with some mostly sunny skies here along the coast. We'll get more sunshine as we get to tomorrow and Wednesday, but then that chance for some showers late Wednesday into Thursday, a little warmer Friday and Saturday, and then Sunday, some increasing cloud cover, and then a little bit cooler with those temperatures. 66 for downtown LA, mid-70s as we head to the rest of the week, maybe even upper 70s and near 80 Friday, Saturday, before it cools down a little bit on Sunday. Valleys, Inland Empire, a little on the cooler side today with that 70 degrees, but then jumping up to the upper 70s by midweek. 48 up into the mountains, clear skies. I think we're done with the precipitation and the snow, but slight opportunity late Wednesday into Thursday. Out towards the high desert area, 65 degrees, upper 70s as we get to Thursday, even the 80s by Friday and Saturday. And then, of course, the Coachella Valley, where there's a lot going on. We had Stagecoach this past weekend, another opportunity for some sunshine there if you're headed there this coming weekend in those 90s. But today on the cooler side with that 78 degrees. All right, let's do some TV shout outs before you walk out that door. Okay, we've got a couple of, oh, look at this. Beautiful. Congratulations. Happy final collegiate softball game at Mount Marty University in South Dakota. I know exactly where that is, there in the Midwest. Kayleen Jacinto, you are loved by Mom, Dad, Nate, and Pookie. But congrats on your final collegiate game. And a happy 25th birthday. Big shout out to Cameron Taylor. Cameron, you look good, buddy. Keep those pictures coming. All you have to do is email them to us, and we'll put you on the list for a shout-out. Email tvshoutouts@fox.com. Make sure you give us the names, a little bit of tidbit of information I can share here on the air. Email tvshoutouts@fox.com. All right, stay with us. We'll be right back after this quick break.
morning and welcome to Good Day LA. It's 8 o'clock on this Monday. I'm Jen Lammers.
I'm Bob DeCastro. Yeah, a very busy morning for you. We're still following that developing story out of Washington. Chaos erupting at the White House Correspondents Dinner after a Torrance man opens fire at that event. You see people ducking here under tables, the Secret Service rushing President Trump, Melania Trump, and other members of the cabinet out of the ballroom. Moments later, President Trump posting surveillance video of the gun battle between the suspect and law enforcement.
This morning we have live team coverage. Our team of reporters will break down what we know about the suspect and the president's response to the shooting. But first, we go over to Gigi Graciette. She is outside the suspected gunman's Torrance home. Good morning.
Good morning. This is the California connection to the shooting in Washington, D.C. This is the home that Cole Allen lived in since about 2021 with his parents and at one point his brother and sister, who were told no longer live here. Now, today we are learning more about the suspect. Take a look. One common denominator between everyone we've spoken to that knew him is that he was very well educated and extremely intelligent. A teacher and tutor, now turned assassination suspect. Within hours of the shooting in D.C., federal agents arrived here at Cole's last known address in Torrance. His parents reportedly did not want to let agents in on Saturday night, but eventually relented, leaving the home to be searched for possible evidence. Those who knew Allen describe him as quiet and gentle, the kind of person they say they never would have expected to be connected to something like this. Neighbors say this is a quiet community, and they're still trying to make sense of it all.
I can't tell you anything about him. I just see him coming and going. I assume going to work or school. The parents I'm friends with. I'm friends with his dad. They're very solid, peaceful, good people in the community.
Some are for Trump, some are not for Trump, but to expect someone in the neighborhood to do something like try to shoot him is kind of ridiculous.
It kind of blows me away because somehow he got his mind corrupted, and I think some of his family knew that things were going on. I hear they had extra guns in the house.
The investigation into Cole's actions now spanning coast to coast. The Associated Press and police in New London, Connecticut, confirming that they received a call Saturday evening, reportedly from Cole's younger brother, who is now living in New London. He told police he had information that possibly connected his brother to the Washington, D.C. incident. New London police now saying they've turned their investigation over to federal agents who reportedly have interviewed the brother and also the sister who is living back east. He reportedly sent an email to family members referring to himself as a friendly federal assassin. Now, the mayor of Torrance is also speaking out, issuing a statement that says, "We are aware of reports identifying the suspect as a resident of Torrance. While that connection is deeply troubling, one individual's alleged actions do not define our city or the values of the more than 143,000 residents who call Torrance home." And bringing it back here live, federal agents were here all weekend long. They also went door to door asking neighbors if they had any information, if they'd had any interactions with Cole Allen. Apparently, he kept to himself. Again, no one has said a bad word about him. This neighborhood taken by surprise at everything that has happened. Reporting live in Torrance, I'm Gigi Graciette. Back to you.
Yeah, a nice, quiet Torrance neighborhood, which falls in line with whatever everybody's saying about Cole Allen, right? Quiet,
the juxtaposition of that shot of the guy walking his golden retriever in the background with all the media attention now and what's unfolded is pretty startling.
Yeah. This morning, investigators are retracing Cole Allen's movements before Saturday's attack.
They're also taking a closer look at the manifesto allegedly written by Allen. Morio's here now with the latest on this. Good morning.
Yeah, that's crucial, that piece here, the moments leading up to all of this and his state of mind. So as the investigation continues and he awaits his first court appearance, officials are looking into an alleged manifesto. Law enforcement officials say Allen sent a manifesto to family members shortly before the attack. In it, he reportedly called himself the friendly federal assassin and said he wanted to target Trump administration officials The writing mocked security at the hotel, expressing shock after he was able to walk in with multiple weapons without being stopped earlier. Investigators have retrieved his phone and other electronics, and they've obtained search warrants as well, continuing to look for a final motive. Now, Allen's alleged manifesto was obtained by the New York Post. It was roughly 1,100 words long and was reportedly sent to family members just 10 minutes before the attack at the White House Correspondents' Dinner. In it, he reportedly laid out his rules for engagement, detailing why he was going after members of the Trump administration. The suspect allegedly laid out a target list of administration officials ranked from highest to lowest. He also referenced Secret Service agents, writing they would only be targeted if necessary, and claimed he wanted to disable them non-lethally if possible. Authorities now examining that full document. In another section, the suspect appeared to distinguish between intended targets and bystanders, a document stating hotel security, Capitol Police, and the National Guard were not to be targeted unless they opened fire, while hotel employees and guests were described as not targets at all. Federal officials say they believe Allen acted alone, and of course many people still puzzled by how someone described as successful, highly educated could have carried out something like this, or attempted to. Bob and Jen.
Yeah, and polite. In the manifesto, it has almost like a rebuttal. There's a question and then a rebuttal. What stands out to you about how detailed this manifesto really was?
Yeah, a few things. It is quite detailed. One of the specifics mentioned here, excluding FBI Director Kash Patel from the list of targets, and there's no indication why that is. He also reportedly mentioned that he planned to use buckshot instead of slugs in order to minimize casualties when it comes to ammunition with less penetration through walls. He allegedly referred to his Christian faith several times in the document, also making mention of some hot-button political issues, the administration's strikes on Venezuelan drug boats and detention of illegal immigrants. So a lot to unpack there, a lot of specifics that were touched on.
And officials are saying that he traveled across country from California to D.C. on board a train and not a plane. Any idea why that was the case?
Well, they're still looking into it. This is Amtrak, so a multi-day journey here from L.A., then to Chicago and Washington, D.C. And we know when you're traveling by train, Amtrak, the luggage that you carry is not subject to the same screening as you would see at an airport through TSA. So they'll likely be looking into that. Also looking at surveillance footage of every step along the way, any bags that he may have been carrying, because they say he was armed with a shotgun, a handgun, and multiple knives. And Jen, you just mentioned, how was he able to get through the hotel that he checked in with?
Right. This has, I mean, top administration officials, the president, the Hilton has hosted the White House Correspondents' Dinner for many, many years. This was the same hotel where Reagan was shot back in ¡81. You have to imagine when you're hosting a huge event like this, there'd be extra security there for guests.
Yeah, that's baffling, to be honest, as we talk about it.
All right, thank you. Meantime, Cole Allen is facing at least 2 initial charges.
Rebecca Castor joining us live from Washington with more on that. Rebecca.
Bob, Jen, good morning. Cole Allen will be arraigned later this afternoon on 2 preliminary charges. One is using a firearm during a violent crime. The other, assaulting a federal officer with a dangerous weapon. But these are the charges that prosecutors are starting with. We do expect more charges will be coming now that investigators have read through that manifesto, which confirms that he was targeting the Trump administration.
Chaos at the White House Correspondents' Dinner after a man armed with guns and knives charged a security checkpoint at the Washington Hilton. The 31-year-old was tackled by officers and arrested. When law enforcement sources tell Fox News, he admitted his intended target was the Trump administration.
He's radicalized. He was a Christian believer, and then he became an anti-Christian.
His family later notified police about a manifesto he sent where he called himself a, quote, friendly federal assassin and outlined a hit list of administration officials. His sister reportedly told investigators during an interview that he frequently made radical statements and planned to do something.
A lot of people have talked about this young man as a lone wolf. In fact, what we've discovered is that he operated and lived in an ecosystem over this past decade.
The House Oversight Committee is now requesting a formal briefing from the Secret Service about what happened Saturday night. President Trump says the incident is proof a presidential ballroom is needed to hold secure events.
I don't want to see it be canceled. I think it's really bad for a crazy person to be able to cancel something.
And that was Rebecca Castor reporting. Keep it here on Good Day LA for continuing coverage of the White House Correspondents Dinner shooting. You can read more about the suspect from Torrance and the investigation on our Fox Local app or foxla.com.
All right, let's go upstairs to Stu with a check on the morning commute. Stu, good morning.
Hey, good morning, everybody. Well, you know, Skyfox traffic this time is brought to us by our good friends at My Home Sold. Take a look at that 101 drive, and it is Monday, and you are feeling it on the roads. Can guarantee you that. West Valley out to the 405 and beyond on that 101 southbound. Going to be a tough drive this morning. Thank goodness no crashes, but very high volume. Give yourself extra time. If you're going the other direction, Studio City out to the West Valley, also very slow and go. So all that 101 in general, just extra time all around. Let's take a look at some traffic hotspots.
Hello, I'm Adrian Hernandez with MyHomeSold.com, and we want to buy your house cash. We save you money with no commissions, no fees, no repairs, for free, no obligation, as is cash offer. Go to MyHomeSold.com.
A look at our top stories this morning. The man accused of opening fire just outside the White House Correspondents Dinner with President Trump in attendance is expected to appear in court today. Investigators have identified the suspect as 31-year-old Cole Allen of Torrance. Agents treating this as an act of political violence, saying the suspect had a manifesto in which he railed against the Trump administration.
The LAPD is investigating a terrifying home invasion in Panorama City. Police say a parent was home with their children when 2 intruders broke into their home on Cedros Avenue around 10:30 last night. The family stayed hidden after the suspects threatened to shoot them if they moved. Police say the suspects ransacked the home before escaping with stolen property. Fortunately, nobody was hurt.
Roving street takeovers in the San Fernando Valley kept LAPD busy overnight. This one you're looking at right here was in Arleta. A group of about 100 people took over at least 4 intersections across the valley at different times. LAPD would show up and push them out, but then they would just regroup at a different intersection. Police say there were no arrests or injuries.
So dangerous, so dangerous. All right, let's talk about this. Good morning to you. I'm meteorologist Maria Quaban. We had some showers that rolled through here this past weekend, and right now we're looking at the latest on our satellite radar pictures, and it's much quieter. We see some blips here in the last couple of hours, but we are anticipating diminishing showers this morning and much improvement as we get into the afternoon. Here is our West Coast outlook. As we see some of that moisture here, that low is going to continue to move east and northeast, and then we'll get some drier weather tomorrow into Wednesday before the next system rolls in. This is a weak system that we're watching. Once again, an opportunity for some very isolated or light showers possible late Wednesday into Thursday as that system moves to our south. You can see there's some moisture associated with it, so we'll wait and see if that actually materializes. At this point, it's about 10 to 20% chance as we get into late Wednesday and Thursday. And then we will look for some warmer temperatures, mostly sunny, as we get into Friday and Saturday before another bout of cloud cover and an onshore flow returns by Sunday into next week. In the meantime, right now, it's not bad. It's a little chilly. It's 33 degrees in Big Bear, just above freezing, 55 in Ontario, 59 in downtown LA right now, 59 in Oxnard, to that 60 degrees in Palm Springs. High temperatures today will range anywhere from the cooler than normal 78 in Palm Springs there in the low desert to around 65 in the high desert areas. The mountains 48 today. We had some snow up in Big Bear this weekend, just a couple inches or so, but it was nice, right? With some rain as well. 70 degrees for the valleys and the Inland Empire, so that's cool for this time of year. 66 for downtown LA, below the average of 73, to similar conditions along our coastline. Here is the day planner for Big Bear. We're going to get to the 40s, eventually around 45, 46 degrees by 2 p.m. this afternoon. Palm Springs around 76 at 3 p.m. today, but plenty of sunshine, some breezes out there as well. So there's actually an air quality alert in place because of the blowing dust and sand. Thousand Oaks, we've got a mixture of some sunshine and some clouds, a little more sunshine this afternoon, but the temperature staying in the low 60s. Ontario, partly cloudy this morning, getting to around 65 degrees this afternoon. And lastly, Anaheim, if you're headed to Orange County, around 67 degrees with partly cloudy skies later this afternoon. All right, stay with us. We're going to be right back after this quick break.
April is Armenian Heritage Month, a time to celebrate the history, culture, and contributions of Armenian Americans in our community.
And one local artist is turning everything from utility boxes to crosswalks into colorful expressions of culture. Roxy is here to show us. Good morning.
Good morning. Nice to be with you this morning. So rooted in a traditional Armenian style, one artist's work is helping bring history and community to public life in public spaces. In Glendale, art is showing up in some unexpected places. You can see artist Arpine Shakbandaryan's work in many corners of the city. She credits a teacher at Glendale High School who recognized her talent.
Mrs. Lowe, and she actually told me that I had a talent for art. She encouraged me, and I went to private art school, which is also in Glendale. Vladimir Altanyan, he's a world-renowned, well-known artist and professor. He had never seen someone at my age, a teenager, sit still for that long.
It was there that she was introduced to a style that would shape her career.
He actually introduced me to the Armenian illuminated manuscript art. He gave me my first gold leaf, and that's where I created one of my well-known pieces, which is Saint Echmiadzin. So it started from there.
Armenian illuminated manuscripts are known for their detailed designs, decorative letters, and gold leaf. Now her specialty. The city of Glendale has created public art programs through its Arts and Culture Commission and public works projects, giving local artists like Arpine a chance to help beautify the community.
Bringing people together and bringing different art forms together. That's why I really love applying for those public artworks.
One of her designs, called Glendale in Bloom, showcases the diverse community in a bouquet. Interwoven are flowers from Glendale's sister cities, including Armenia's Forget-Me-Not.
The Glendale hibiscus, the California poppy, which is love, the American rose, the Bayahiba rose of the Dominican Republic, the cherry blossom of Japan, the dahlia of Mexico, the jasmine of the Philippines, and the hibiscus of South Korea. So all of these flowers are actually coming together in this bouquet. And there's the jacaranda branches, which is the official City of Glendale tree. The peacocks are sitting on the branches, and it's just wrapping around the utility box.
Arpine also weaves personal history into her work. For example, her crosswalk design on West Broadway was inspired by a family heirloom.
I love rugs. It's an ancient form of not only for homes as a functional item, but it's also tells stories. Rugs were used to weave community stories. My grandmother, Avni Shakbandaryan, she wove a rug. So now being 100 years ago that I have. It's an heirloom that my father passed on to me. And I wanted to kind of tell the story of Glendale in that form. I wanted it to be art. I wanted the symbols to be geometric, but I also wanted the rug feeling to come through.
For Arpine, it isn't about the size of what she's doing. It's about meaning, connection, storytelling. Her work continues to bring people together.
If it brings them joy, when the artwork brings them joy, they celebrate together.
So keep an eye out for her work around the public places in the city, and in the meantime, she is very busy with her custom commissions for private collections and special occasions. You can check out her website. There it is, artbyarpine.com. It's quite a talent.
Wow. Yeah, super talented.
Each letter, I mean, she can create it into anything, really.
Wow.
She sees it
certain kind of brain.
Yes. A brain we don't have. Well, actually, you do.
I don't know about that.
You do. He does.
She's great.
He's actually, Bobby Castro is a pretty fantastic artist.
You are.
I have one of your originals in my office. Yeah.
Yeah, I like it. But I do appreciate seeing art in public places. I mean, truly, it's nice.
Sure. Yeah.
It adds life and
transform
color.
a whole neighborhood for sure.
Rather than boring, just plain old utility boxes.
Very cool. Thank you, Roxy. So still ahead, we are getting a first look inside LA's newest, speaking of arts, newest art landmark. Coco is live at the David Geffen Galleries. Good morning.
Good morning. That's right. We are here at the LACMA David Geffen Galleries ahead of the grand opening. We're so excited to show you this beautiful new building and the artwork.
.30 on this Monday. Thanks for being with us. This is Good Day LA. I'm Bobby Castro.
And I'm Jen Lammers. Yes, thanks for joining us on this Monday. Let's get over to Maria. Checking our forecast. It was a little chilly over the weekend.
It is a little chilly still out there today. In fact, maybe even a little bit cooler today than yesterday. But the good news is we are looking at improving weather. We had some showers earlier this morning, isolated showers, but it is drying out as we speak. There is another opportunity for some light showers as we get to late Wednesday into Thursday, and then it'll really dry out and warm up by Friday and Saturday. So we have that to look forward to as we get to the end of the week. But we did have some impressive rain totals, depending on where you were. Running Springs got a little over 2 inches of rain. That was up in the mountains, and even some snow up into Big Bear. Hawthorne, just a little bit over ½ an inch. San Gabriel, a little over 1/3 of an inch. Costa Mesa and Orange County, 2/10. And Ontario International Airport, less than 1/10 of an inch of rain. Looking at our April calendar, the last 2 days, of course, this past weekend, we had those blue boxes for the below average highs, only in the 60s. And today, even cooler, 66 degrees expected. So that is below the average of 73. Our sun will set later this evening at 7:34. These are the highs we're expecting today, 64 in Pasadena. So I think you'll need that hoodie, that sweatshirt. It's going to be kind of chilly, right? 65 in Santa Monica, 67 in San Bernardino, 68 in Corona, to 48 in Big Bear, 78 in Palm Springs. Even there, a little cooler. It will warm up, though. I'll show you the extended outlook coming up in just a few moments. In the meantime, let's check in on the traffic. Samada's back in studio with a look at that. Hey, Samada.
Hi there. Good morning, Marie. Good morning, everyone. We do have an issue. If this is part of your ride at this hour, southbound side of the 215 at 2nd Street, two vehicles collided here. One of those vehicles is facing the wrong direction in the fast lane, and we are picking up a little bit of that delay at this hour. First crews are headed to the scene as well as a tow truck, and we've got to look at your real-time traffic. 34 minutes, not too bad. Leaving downtown through Mid-City to get to Santa Monica. Go ahead and give yourself 24 minutes northbound 110 from the 405 going inbound, and just a little over half an hour if your drive takes you westbound 60 from the 57 inbound. And into Orange County we go. We've got to look at the 22, both directions, rolling along. Back to you.
All right, Samana, thank you. Following this developing news from that teacher strike in the Little Lake School District.
Yeah, Brooke is here with the latest going on week 3.
Yeah, it's starting week 3. Yeah, we hope this can be settled today. I just spoke to the Little Lake Education Association president, and that was her message as this strike enters its 3rd week. Both sides are set to head back to the bargaining table, and there will be a new face pulling up a chair. The school board named Monica Johnson as interim superintendent following a marathon emergency meeting Sunday. Johnson was the assistant superintendent of education services. She's also been a teacher and a principal at 2 schools in the district. She replaces the district's top leader, Jonathan Vasquez, who suddenly retired Friday, citing health reasons. He had previously said he would leave this summer. Teachers are holding out for better health benefits and smaller classes. They also want support for special education programs. The district, at the same time, is warning of a tightening budget, saying if they overspend, the state can take over, and that would mean losing local control. Right now, substitute teachers are keeping district school doors open. The union president says that's coming at a cost, she believes, of $500 a day per sub.
The majority of our teachers do not make that per diem. And so the substitutes who are crossing the line are actually making more money than our teachers themselves. We've heard, from the community that the children aren't learning. They are just doing packets, sitting in the classrooms. And so it's kind of a waste of an education system, even though there are grown-ups in the room to cover the classes.
Superintendent Johnson called her new appointment a new phase toward a resolution. And when it comes to negotiation, she says, quote, "We are engaging with urgency." The union president there sure hopes so, telling me, quote, "We want to go back to the classrooms. We want to be with the kids." I'll have more in my interview with her. And also, we've reached out to the district as well.
So on one hand, when it comes to the $500 a day that these substitute teachers are getting paid, I can see from parents' perspective, they're working. They have to go. It's 3 weeks of this. They have, jobs they have to go to. On the other hand, nobody wants to see their kids like kicking back and not engaging in learning.
I asked quite a bit, I think, about just the situation where it stands, because, these teachers right now are not getting paid. So they're not making any money right now while they're on strike, fighting for, those 3 main issues that I just talked to you about. And I asked how they felt about the substitute teachers keeping things afloat. She was kind of saying they look at this as everyone being a part of the community and understanding that parents need somewhere for their kids to go kind of last minute all of a sudden. And also, that adults are in the room keeping things afloat. She said that, her message to those substitutes was, while you're crossing the picket line, to also call the district headquarters and say, hey, it's important for you guys to come to the table with a fair settlement so we can get these teachers back in there. Just kind of saying, work both sides.
Looking out for each other.
I thought that was interesting.
So you said off the top that they said that they hope things could be settled today.
That's the hope.
There's optimism despite some really big issues there where they seem so far apart on. That healthcare issue is a huge point of contention there.
Yeah, the union president talked to me about that, and she essentially said that over the years they have given up on asking for raises in order to secure healthcare. And she believes the district has now gone back on almost a gentleman's agreement, right? You could say. And she says that she has members paying $1,400 a month out of pocket for health care, and it's just untenable at this point. And so, essentially saying, had they asked for raises, years and years and years ago, that maybe they wouldn't need this. It wouldn't be such an issue when it comes to their personal finances.
It's like robbing Peter to pay Paul.
Essentially, yeah, they're saying they're just kind of at that point. And to the interim superintendent, they're like, hey, listen, she's been there as part of the negotiations in her previous position, and she was a teacher, she was a principal, and they are hopeful that, you know, she knows what the issues are, she knows the requests. They believe the district can afford this. Like I said, you know, I really want to get, you know, the district on Zoom as quickly as possible, and we're working on that. But they believe that this is possible. So we'll see what happens, you know.
Brooke, thank you.
Of course.
Yeah.
Now to this, David Geffen. Galleries is now the new home for LA County Museum of Art's permanent collection.
Coco McAvoy joining us live. She got inside to show us how everything looks. Good morning.
Hey there, we are just 1 week away from the David Geffen Galleries opening to the public, and you can bet this is going to be a huge destination for people to see all of this beautiful artwork. I am here with Naima now, who is the Senior Vice President of Education and Public Programs, and we've been talking about how this was such a massive project, 7 years to complete.
Yes.
Why was it so important for LACMA to do this?
Well, one, I think it just gives us a bigger opportunity to show off our permanent collection. We have thousands of objects in our permanent collection, and this gives us opportunity just to show 2,000 more of them. And so you could imagine that people haven't seen this Diego de Rivera or a work by Lauren Halsey, or, I mean, there's just so many amazing works that we have that were in storage, and now our public gets to see more of them.
Yes, and you've got some big events coming up, really, to help celebrate this grand opening.
Yes, we do. On May 3rd, we have our Next Gen LA event, which is an opportunity for kids and their families to come into the galleries, see the space. We have scavenger hunts, and we have a DJ, and Bob Baker's Marionette Theater. I mean, it's going to be a really amazing event. Next Gen LA is actually our free membership program for 17 years and younger. They are the members, and they can bring in a caregiver for free. It's really an amazing program. And then on May 4th, we completely open to the public. So anyone is available to come. You buy a ticket, come into the galleries, and see all the amazing work on view.
And talk about what's going to make this such a different experience for people when they come.
Well, one, I think just the way in which the artwork is arranged. Michael Govan, our fearless director, was really, adamant in terms of working with Peter Zumthor, the architect, on making sure that all the artwork is on one level. You don't have, contemporary art in one room and Egyptian art in another room and modern art in another room. There are so many stories that are weaved around, and that you're meant to kind of wander throughout the galleries. You're meant to kind of say, wait a minute, that looks interesting. Wait, what is around that corner? Wait, I see something that's really cool. So the way in which the galleries are laid out is meant to inspire this level of interest, curiosity, wonder, which is very different than how most museums are set up.
Yeah, well, thank you so much, Naima, for talking to us. How exciting, just 1 week away before you can enter this brand new, beautiful building, massive project. And like Naima was saying, the flow is entirely different. So you'll really have that fresh and brand new experience. I can tell you I had it as I've been walking around as well. So again, May 4th is the grand opening date. But there's the event on May 3rd as well for families. I'll send it back to you.
Just by the way, it's echoing.
I know, it seems cavernous. You can hear your echo,
it's massive.
Echo.
I mean, yeah. If you even look around, the detail everywhere, you can definitely hear an echo.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah,
wow.
I love the concrete.
Wow.
We've been watching the construction of this thing for years, and so we're glad it's finally open.
7 years.
That's right. Transform Mid-Wilshire. All right, Coco, thank you.
Thank you, Coco.
We have a lot more still ahead on Good Day LA.
Okay, so we have 3 farmers.
Oh.
There's one right there.
One right here. We'll have more on that.
The farmers are here. They're in the green room.
Oh, they are.
Yeah.
Is this the farmer
wants a
wife? All right. We'll be seeing them momentarily. Good Daily Traffic, sponsored by the law offices of Jacob and Bronny, called Jacob.com. We have 2 issues working out there. And unfortunately, a motorcycle crash westbound 60 at Heacock Street. And that vehicle versus a motorcycle is taking away at least 2 lanes of traffic, both the carpool as well as the fast lane being impacted. So emergency crews are rushing to the scene. We are looking at speeds now pushed down to 10 miles an hour. You may want to reroute and perhaps take the 10. And the 215 south at 2nd Street, a separate collision, 1 vehicle facing the wrong direction, and also emergency crews rushing to that scene as well. Here's a much better looking roadway, the 91 eastbound, westbound at Euclid, rolling along. Here's a look at some other traffic hotspots.
So I do hot yoga every day. After the accident, my lower back was so stiff I couldn't move, and I called Jacob. They treated me like a king. I did not have to deal with anything. If you're in an accident, call Jacob. Call Jacob.
And this weather is sponsored by the law offices of Larry H. Parker. Beautiful view of Manhattan Beach this morning. We do have some sunshine, getting through that cloud cover, and we will look for mostly sunny skies a little bit later. Improving conditions with the rain really ending for the most part this morning. Temperatures, though, are going to stay cooler than average temperatures because of this trough of lower pressure helping to usher in some of that cooler air mass. That low, though, is moving away. We're watching another storm system offshore. That could bring us another opportunity for some light showers as we look ahead into late Wednesday into Thursday. There's an air quality alert once again for portions of the low desert areas, including Palm Springs and Indio. So those winds can kick up some of that dust and sand, of course, making air quality a little bit on the lower side. 2 to 4 foot sets surf height wise from Ventura to LA County beaches, 1 to 3 Orange County and San Diego. Here's our 7-day forecast. 66 along the coast to around 69 tomorrow and Wednesday. There's an opportunity for some slight chance anyway. Showers late Wednesday into Thursday. 66 for downtown LA today, so that's cool, to the mid-70s beginning tomorrow. 70 degrees for the valleys and the Inland Empire. You'll need that hoodie, getting up to around 79 and then 82 by Friday. I would say Friday and Saturday will be the warmest of the upcoming week. 48 up in the mountains and much drier today, and that slight opportunity for some precipitation again Thursday. High desert areas 65, some light breezes, and there's that 10% chance for some showers late Wednesday into Thursday. And out towards the Coachella Valley, 78 in Palm Springs today, really warming up to 89 by Wednesday. Back to to you.
Thank you, Maria, little lady. Entertainment sponsored by Yamava Resort and Casino. Season 4 of Farmer Wants a Wife is fresh in every way and fun. And dare I say, dramatic too? 4 seasons, 3 farmers, too many options, and 1 chance to find forever love.
Our 3 farmers have each invited 1 lucky lady back to their farms for a full 24 hours for a romantic solo date. Will they make the most of this precious time alone before the others arrive? Will any of these women be the one? Only time will tell.
Only time in each episode will tell. Please welcome Braden, Brett, and Sean. Hi, fellas.
Hey, how's it going?
It is. I did have to tell our audience. I am always so honestly taken aback in a good way when I met these farmers backstage. They took off their hats, shook my hand. I mean, it's the simple things, but I mean, your parents raised you right.
Yeah, it's just manners.
It's just manners. After this reality show, Finding a Wife, can you also do a reality show and taking some of the guys our age and teaching them some basic manners? I think that would be a hit.
Yeah, I think it's a spinoff we're doing.
That should definitely be a spinoff. Now, I hear this is the most emotional season yet. True or false?
I mean, we haven't seen the whole thing.
Yeah, we're watching
we
it
lived
when
through
you
it.
watch it.
Mm-hmm. But were their emotions high?
Yeah, I'd say, you know, it was a lot of fun, but also there was times it wasn't as fun.
Yeah.
But honestly, it was just real emotion, I think, was the biggest thing.
Real and raw.
Yeah.
Was it more emotional than you thought it would be?
100%.
Yeah.
I thought I was going to kind of I was like, oh, this is a crazy, fun thing we're doing. Like,
sure.
Breeze through it.
Yeah.
It got very real, very quick. So,
okay. Yeah. I mean, look at these beautiful ladies, by the way. You, for a living, you literally get thrown off of a bull. I mean, you have gotten thrown off of a bull years upon years upon years. So you are no stranger to dusting yourself off and trying again. What is harder, bull riding or dating?
Well, I'm 36, so dating, obviously. But, no, I mean, I rode when I was young, and, you know, when you're young, you're bulletproof, and you can handle that stuff.
Teflon.
Yeah,
tough.
Your bones bend, set a break. But, I mean, doing this was a whole lot different. It's a different world, dating 5 women at the same time and trying to narrow it down to 1. So it's a little tough.
It is tough. Only the strong survive.
Yeah.
Both the ladies and you
right.
too. Over 24 women, though, hoping to be your wifey. What are the qualities you look for in the solo date? Because the solo date is where all the girls want to get to. So what does it take for the girls to get to that solo date, break that barrier?
You know, with the solo date, it's kind of different. You get 2 solo dates, but the first one, I mean, that's day 1. You don't really know. I mean, you just kind of, you know, with me personally, I'm like, well, I'll just choose one who kind of stuck out to me, because you get 10 minutes of conversation with each one of these women, so you really don't know somebody in 10 minutes.
So just something that sticks out.
Yeah, so you're just like, all right, well, we'll go with this one, and like, so yeah, you just got to go with your gut.
Go with your gut. How about for you?
I mean, for me, I think the solo date was a good opportunity to really figure someone out. And it gave me that one-on-one time to have the in-depth conversation. And I think this whole process is so accelerated that in the beginning stages of the thing, you kind of have to ask the tough questions. And then after you can kind of break past that barrier, then you can get to the fun stuff. So
Yeah. And Sean, you're no stranger to farm to table. But let's talk date to altar. Okay.
Date to altar.
Let's, you know, farm to table, there's a process. Date to altar, there's a process. I want to know your 3 non-negotiables to take a wife.
Ooh, I would say number 1 is a God-fearing woman.
Okay.
Number 2 is honesty. And number 3 is sense of humor.
Okay.
Underrated quality, I think. Somebody that can take a joke and tell a joke. Wow, that goes a long way, huh?
Absolutely.
For sure. Okay, so besides love, what other elements do you think Farmer Wants a Wife reveals about the everyday life and responsibilities of the everyday modern farmer?
Well, you know, I am corn and soybean farmer, fifth generation. So my mom could answer this perfectly. She's been doing the farmer's wife thing for a while, but for me, you know, the biggest thing I look for is someone who can just support you. You know, I think I said on the show is like I want somebody you can just come home to and leave everything at the door. Whether that's a good day or bad day, just leave it at the door and forget about it, because, you know, I think people romanticize, you know, the farm life a lot. Just be like, I want to.
That's right.
Country boy,
it's
like
early
farmer.
rising, right?
Yeah, but like you get kind of down to it, and then I think there's a lot of times where like, this wasn't as glamorous as I thought, because there's, you know, those busy times. It's sun up, sundown.
Yeah, sun up, sundown.
Yeah.
And, you know, people nowadays are on their phones all the time. I mean, these girls literally have to touch grass.
Yeah.
I mean, not just go outside after scrolling. You know, you got to actually touch grass.
Right.
So I want to get into our rapid fire. I'm going to need you guys to roll up your sleeves a little bit, because we're getting, you could metaphor. Literally. Roll up your sleeves, boys. Tilt your hats back, because Mandy the cowgirl has some rapid fire. I don't want you to think too much into it. I just want you to go with your gut, like you said, okay? We'll rapid fire around the table. We'll start with you, Sean. Dating apps, yay or nay? Nay, and tell me why.
I think people on dating apps are there for the wrong reasons.
Wrong reasons, okay.
I would agree. I was never too big on it. I just feel like it's kind of a dead end. It's worked for a lot of people, but just for me, I just
can't
never.
do it.
I'm not a good texter, and I'm better in person, I feel like. So
yeah. More ripe, less swipe. There you
That's
go.
That's right. There you go.
And for you?
I'm gonna say nay.
Nay. 2 nay. 3 nays.
Yeah. Dating apps, you see a version of somebody that's not actually that.
Okay.
And, you know, I mean, I just don't think it ever. Like I said, there are people that find really good people out of it, but I'm not one of those.
No luck. That's why you did the show.
That's why.
Yeah. You gotta go on TV.
Yeah, we're desperate.
For sure. No, you're not desperate, please. Okay, rapid fire. Talker or texter?
Talker. 100%.
You know what? In 1996, Paula Cole asked the question, where have all the cowboys gone? I'm still asking that question in 2026. Why are people afraid of the phone? Just pick up the phone and talk. Talker or texter?
Talker.
Talker.
Absolutely.
Three talkers. I love that.
I got a feeling we're all going to have the same answers.
I don't know about that, because we're getting more into it.
Okay.
Kissing on the first date, yay or nay?
It depends on the person. It could go either way.
Okay.
I would say,
let's go with your gut.
I'm going to say it depends on the situation. Yeah. You know, I'm not going to say if it feels right, then it feels right. If it doesn't feel right, then no.
Okay.
I'm going to say nay. I'll go out. Yeah.
Yeah. Nay.
Nay.
Okay.
Leave a little suspense to it.
I like that. I like that. Okay, this is a big one, but I'm sure I know the answer to this. Do you pay on the first date?
100%.
I wasn't
100%.
surprised.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Always pay.
Yeah, there you go. Would you ever say to a woman, so my portion is $48 and your portion, do you want to just Venmo me flipsies? There's no going Dutch with
I don't think that's ever gone through my brain before.
That's very nice.
Yeah.
My grandpa used to say, you know, a woman can pay for herself, but a man doesn't let her.
Yeah.
Ooh.
Is what my grandpa used to say.
I like your grandpa.
He was a good guy.
On a first date, besides opening the door, do you also pull out the chairs? What else do you do to take it to the next level on the first date to show them you're a gentleman?
I mean, everything that it takes. I would say walking with them, and if you're on a street, you walk towards the traffic.
Yes.
You open the car door when you pick them up.
Yeah.
You don't just sit there and say, hey, I'm here. You get out and open the car door and open the restaurant door and everything that's involved in it.
Yep.
Blow the horn.
Text, here, like an Uber.
I would agree. The little things are big, and just be nice to people. You know, don't be your waiter or waitress. Don't be rude to them. You know, and just
always.
that's something
Kind to
big
the
for me.
staff,
Yeah.
Not just to your date.
Exactly.
Yep.
Yeah. Just as respectful as you can be.
As respectful as you can be. All right, yay or nay, do you care about what zodiac sign a woman is?
No.
No.
Yeah, no.
I'm not confident I could tell you what zodiac sign I am.
When's your birthday?
June.
June what?
1st.
You're a Gemini.
Gemini?
Yeah.
Is that a good thing or a bad thing?
Well, I'm a Gemini, so I say that's a great thing. That's a great thing.
Yeah, I don't.
You don't care?
No, at all.
You don't care at all?
Yeah, I'm too old for that.
Have you ever done any of the following? Ghosting, breadcrumbing, or love bombing?
I've done some ghosting.
Oh, no! You've done some ghosting?
Yeah, unfortunately. I think for some situations, if it's not working out, I mean, I usually make it clear that it's not going to work out, and if they continue to reach out,
Well, yeah.
There's no reason to respond.
Well, if you're making it clear.
Yeah, that's what I mean by ghosting.
Of course.
What's breadcrumbing?
Breadcrumbing is like giving them just little bits to keep them hanging on.
Oh, yeah.
Breadcrumbs me all the time.
Yeah.
Breadcrumbs.
Yeah, that's right.
There you go.
Yeah.
Thank you guys so much. You're so much fun. I tip my hat to all three of you. Your parents raised you right. And Farmer Wants a Wife airs Tuesdays, 8 p.m. right here on Fox and the next day on Hulu. And hey, I don't know what happens at the end of the season if it doesn't work out, but these are three very eligible farmers looking for love. All right, time to check in with my girls. Roxy and Sandra, what'd you think? Did they do a good job?
Yeah, that was fun. Three gentlemen right there.
Yes.
Right. All right, thank you, Amanda. So up next, we have the latest on the suspect in the White House Correspondents Dinner shooting, including his ties to Southern California.
The battle over how you watch your favorite sport is heating up. The Department of Justice now stepping in. But why does the FCC say it's not so fan-friendly?
A special permanent tribute to a U.S. soccer legend at Dignity Health Sports Park in Carson. Kobe Jones talks with us about his great honor. We'll be right back.
Welcome to 9 a.m. I'm Roxy Carpadian.
And I'm Sandra Endo. Thanks for joining us.
Chaos erupting at the White House Correspondents Dinner after a suspect from Torrance opened fire at the event. You can see people ducking under tables there, the Secret Service rushing in. President Trump and the First Lady and other members out of the ballroom. They were rushed out to safety.
Moments later, the president posted surveillance video of the gun battle between the suspect and law enforcement. We'll have team coverage in just a few minutes. Before all that, though, let's talk about that weather. It was very different this weekend.
It was. As we forecast last week, it was kind of a showery, depending on where you were. This past weekend, we even had some mountain snow, and some areas didn't get any rain at all. Right now, we're looking at the latest on our satellite radar pictures, and we're still picking up some blips of moisture here. But generally speaking, we are looking at diminishing showers and improving conditions. Temperatures are on the cooler side, so we're definitely needing that hoodie or that light jacket as you head out, sweatshirt. 59 in Burbank, mostly in the 50s out towards San Bernardino, 57, 59 in Ontario. It's 61 downtown LA, same for Santa Monica and Santa Ana, 38 in Big Bear to that 64 in Palm Springs. Eventually, it'll get to around 78 in the low desert in Palm Springs. That's cooler than average. 65 in the high desert areas. Mountains 48, and as we take a look at downtown, 66, that's it. That's below the normal. 73, maybe near 70 for the valleys and the Inland Empire, to the upper 60s as well near the coast. We'll talk about a warm-up, another opportunity for rain, and the extended outlook coming up just a few moments. Back to you.
Maria, thank you. The suspect in the White House Correspondents Dinner shooting lived and worked in Torrance. Cole Allen's arrest has suddenly launched the city and his home neighborhood into the spotlight.
Let's go to Gigi right now outside of the suspect's home this morning, including getting some reaction from neighbors in the area. We can imagine they're absolutely shocked.
They certainly are, and this is the center of the California connection to the shooting in Washington, D.C. Good morning, everyone. We are live in Torrance, outside the home that Cole Allen shared with his parents, and at one point his brother and sister. Neighbors saying they would often see him up and down the street on his blue scooter that you see there parked, and that could explain why he chose to take a train to Washington, D.C. And take a look, because we are learning more about the well-educated teacher and tutor, now turned assassination suspect. Within 1 hour of the shooting in Washington, D.C., federal agents arrived here at Cole's last known address. His parents reportedly did not want to let agents in on Saturday night, but eventually relented, leaving the home to be searched for possible evidence. The FBI confirming their agents were here and were here all day Sunday, serving a search warrant, looking for any possible evidence. Those who knew Allen describe him as quiet, gentle, everyone saying he was extremely intelligent, the kind of person, they say, they never would have expected to be connected to something like this.
Well, nobody wants anyone bad living that close by, right? So, yeah, I don't, and once again, it's allegations. We don't know the true story, but it seems pretty horrendous so far.
And we mentioned that Cole reportedly lived in this Torrance home with his brother and sister. Also, they have since moved out. And the New London, Connecticut Police Department is confirming that on Saturday they received a call from someone reporting that they had information associating Allen with the Washington, D.C. incident. The Associated Press confirming that call came from Cole's younger brother, who apparently is now living in New London, Connecticut. The police department says they've turned over their findings to federal agents who reportedly also were in New London to interview Allen's brother. Now, he reportedly sent his family an email explaining the what and why of what he was going to do, referring to himself as a friendly federal assassin. Now, bringing it back here live, everything has been extremely quiet. We have not seen any signs of anyone inside the home. No one has come, no one has gone. Federal agents are not expected to be back. They won't say exactly what, if anything, they found, confirming only that the FBI was searching for possible evidence. Reporting live in Torrance, I'm Gigi Graciette. Back to you.
There's so much detail, Gigi, that you went into. It really highlights the fact that this went into a great deal of planning, in the sense that he even sent that email out to his family members prior to the incident taking place. You wonder how long he'd been making these plans.
Well, there are unconfirmed reports that family members are speaking out saying that he had made some radical statements recently. Again, they are unconfirmed, as are the contents of the emails he reportedly sent to his family. Basically, and we are awaiting and expect the FBI to confirm a lot of this later today after he faces a federal judge. But in what we've seen of that so-called manifesto, it is a letter of apology to his friends, and it clearly lays out that he wasn't targeting innocent people. He was targeting people in the administration and a lot of his grievances against the government.
All right, more to come there. Thank you so much, Gigi and Mario, with us now because investigators obviously have a lot of work to do. They're retracing his movements prior to Saturday's shooting.
And he actually took a train, right, from California all the way to the nation's capital.
Yeah, Amtrak from LA to Chicago and then Washington, D.C. And we know he is expected in court today as the investigation continues. So we're getting a closer look at that alleged manifesto, the suspect awaiting his first appearance. But take a look, because law enforcement officials say Allen sent a manifesto to family members shortly before the attack, and in it, he reportedly called himself the friendly federal assassin and said he wanted to target Trump administration officials, prioritizing from highest ranking to lowest, while excluding FBI Director Kash Patel. The writing mocking security at the hotel, expressing shock that he was able to walk in with multiple weapons without being stopped earlier. Investigators have retrieved his phone and other electronics as they're continuing to look for a final motive. And Allen's alleged manifesto was obtained by the New York Post. It was roughly 1,100 words long and was reportedly sent to family members just 10 minutes before the attack at the White House Correspondents' Dinner. In it, he reportedly laid out his rules for engagement, detailing why he was going after members of the Trump administration. And investigators say the suspect laid out a target list of administration officials, ranked again from highest to lowest, specifically excluding FBI Director Kash Patel. It also addresses Secret Service agents, claiming they would only be targeted if necessary, and showing an awareness that many agents wear body armor. Authorities now looking at that full document. In another section, the suspect appeared to distinguish between intended targets and bystanders. The document stating hotel security, Capitol Police, and the National Guard were not to be targeted unless they opened fire, while hotel employees and guests were described as not targets at all. And now FBI Director Kash Patel says they expect to release a much clearer picture of the suspect's background very soon.
We're going to be able to present to the world in less than 36 hours almost exactly what happened, this individual's entire background, who he knew, where he lived, who he was talking to.
Authorities say the suspect, a man with degrees linked to Caltech and Cal State Dominguez Hills, was armed with a shotgun, a handgun, and multiple knives when he ran through a security checkpoint. They say he then fired at a Secret Service agent who was protected by a ballistic vest. And now investigators say that manifesto may show not only motive, but how far in advance this attack was planned and who, if anyone, may have known about it. Sandra and Roxanne.
Yeah, they're going to definitely investigate where he got the weapons that were used and were on his body, right? Obviously where those were purchased from, how far in advance that was, but also the planning involved in taking a train, which had to take some time, multiple days, right, to get to D.C.
Yeah, exactly. A multi-day trip. And we know that as far as Amtrak goes, or traveling by train, luggage is not subject to the same type of screening as you would see at an airport with the TSA. So that could be one of the reasons, of course. That's what investigators are looking into, possibly collecting surveillance footage from each stop where he was seen in footage.
Interesting. And he was staying at the hotel.
Yes, he checked into the hotel the day before.
So that is something obviously is going to be a concern moving forward, whether or not these dinners continue to be held at this hotel, because guests have access then clearly to certain parts of that hotel, right?
And who should have been responsible for the security there? Was it Secret Service? Was it the hotel? Was it local law enforcement?
And that's something he was exposing in his manifesto as well, the lack of security and the fact that he said hair and makeup people were coming in just an hour before the event, and how it was pretty lax and easy to get into.
Exactly, mocking the lack of security, saying that he was allegedly saying that he was shocked that he didn't get more attention walking in.
I was hearing President Trump making a statement regarding the ballroom that's being built at the White House and how this is a reason for his argument that it would be a safer location to have events such such as this in a much more secure location rather than, for example, a hotel room. So a lot more to come, obviously. Mario, thank you so much.
Yep. And of course, keep it here on Good Day LA for continuing coverage of the White House Correspondents Dinner shooting. You can read more about the suspect from Torrance and the investigation on our Fox Local app or foxla.com. The federal probe into sports streaming is expanding now. The Department of Justice met with broadcast TV station owners last week. Its antitrust division is asking for feedback on how the shift the games from TV to streaming is impacting the industry. This comes as the NFL recently held its own closed-door meeting with the FCC to defend its strategy, calling it fan and broadcaster friendly. The FCC disagrees.
There's a lot of Americans out there that are really fed up with the trend in sports. At least up to now, people have been able to enjoy watching a game basically for free from their home, but even that's starting to slip away. And I think it's a real mistake for this country if we allow watching sports to become purely an elite activity.
No word on when the FCC could take any action.
The LA Galaxy unveiling a stunning 9-foot bronze statue honoring club legend Kobe Jones.
One. This is LA.
Pretty cool, all right? Look at that. Oh my gosh, all the detail. The ceremony held yesterday at Dignity Health Sports Park in Carson. 55-year-old Kobe Jones played for the Galaxy from 1996 to 2007, scoring 70 goals. He joined us this morning on Good Day LA. He joined Sandra specifically, and he told Sandra that he hopes the statue becomes a symbol of self-determination for generations to come.
I hope that they can see and look at my story, because I was, in high school told, I was one of the worst players that, that a coach had ever seen. I was a walk-on at UCLA. I was cut 2 times from the Olympic team before I eventually made it. So there's a lot of barriers, in the path, and it's in everyone's path, and you tend to doubt at times, and just kind of leaning upon yourself, believing in yourself, believing in your friends and family, and who you surround yourself with is so important. And I hope that statue, is kind of like that symbol, for all those people out there, like, hey, if he did it, you know what? I can do it as well.
I love that message. Truly
so important
about not giving up. He adds he's excited to see the World Cup played here in the U.S. He says that if the team USA obviously does well, obviously excitement for soccer will grow in America, as we're seeing that happen already, but it'll be pretty incredible to see that momentum. Last hour we did ask you this: FIFA World Cup, looking forward to most. What are you looking forward to most? Let's see what you have to say. All right, here we go. 73% of you, Team USA pride. Very good.
Oh, it's changing. Before it was 24/7 soccer, because, the games, whoever you're cheering for, whatever country, it's going to be played all different hours. So
you set that alarm clock.
I know. There's going to be parties in the streets at like 4 a.m. sometimes.
Right.
It's really going to be a fun vibe.
Do we have some comments that we can get to? Not yet. Okay, we'll get to that later. In the meantime, let's tell you what's coming up. Amanda joining us after the break with your entertainment headlines.
But first, let's go to Maria with traffic.
And we do have a little bit of traffic. Good Day LA traffic is brought to you by DTLA Law Group Accident and Injury Attorneys. As we take a look at our map and zooming in here at one of our traffic cameras, it is a little on the slower side. This is the 60 freeway. Eastbound side are these cars here on the left-hand side coming at and towards the camera. This is at Paris Boulevard. And the other side, the westbound side, looks like it's moving nicely. We do have some clouds out there, as you can see, still lingering. Here are the drive times coming out of downtown LA on that West 10. This is going towards Santa Monica between the 5 to the 405. It's about 31 minutes. That's actually pretty typical for this time. Northbound 110 between the 405 to the 10, just 20 minutes, not too bad. On that West 60 between the 57 to the 5, about 32 minutes. Here's a look at some of the other traffic hotspots.
This broadcast is locally sponsored by DTLA Law Group, Auto Accident and Injury Attorneys. Have an injury? Text Injury Help to 40222 or visit us online at calldowntown.com. Message and data rates and usage may apply.
Are you ladies ready to start something? Starting something.
Yeah.
What?
It's doing well, huh?
What a weekend for Michael Jackson and his fans and his estate. Entertainment sponsored by Yamava Resort and Casino. The new Michael Jackson biopic breaking records in its first weekend in theaters. Basically, come on ladies, telling the other movies to
Beat it.
Spread love, joy, and peace. That is what I want the world to feel. Magic.
Look at that shot from the back. Jafar Jackson, the nephew of Michael Jackson, starring in the title role. Michael brought in a $97 million haul domestically to the box office and $217 million globally. So I want you to really quick look at those two numbers. $97 million domestic, $217 globally. What does that tell you?
International fans.
Superstar.
Yeah.
He was a global superstar. The world loves Michael Jackson. The film exceeded other big music movies like Bohemian Rhapsody and Straight Outta Compton. And the studio is expected to greenlight at least one more film about Jackson's life. So,
what would that be about?
Right. So this film starts in the 60s and it goes until the late 80s. So presumably the second film will pick up where we left off. It's got to include the Super Bowl. It has to include the famous halftime show and the later parts of his adult life. If they do make that second part. Marriages, Lisa Marie Presley, remember that?
That's right.
When he had his 3 children.
Yeah.
So it has,
I wonder if people watching are like the storyline and the movie itself, or it's just about the music. Because I mean, the music itself just carries everything.
I definitely think the filmmakers knew to lean hard into the music because that is a central focal point of the film. It definitely has your foot tapping, shoulders kind of shimmying. I mean, you've got some of his greatest hits right there. Speaking of music, this bummed me out over the weekend. Megan Thee Stallion. She is for sure a baddie, but over the weekend she turned more of a saddie as it was revealed that her boyfriend, NBA star Klay Thompson, was unfaithful. Klay. Now you know her from hit songs like Body Yaddy 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 and I'm a good one. And Hot Girl Summer. And Klay plays for the Dallas Mavericks. On Saturday, she posted to her stories on Instagram getting real about the split, saying, cheating, had me around your whole family playing house, got cold feet, she went on, holding you down through all your horrible mood swings and treatment towards me during your basketball season. Now you don't know if you can be monogamous. Bleep, I need a real break after this one. Bye, y'all.
Ooh. Wait, so they were just boyfriend and girlfriend?
They were, but this was the first time we got to see our girl Megan Thee Stallion really being vulnerable. They bought a house together. She went over for holidays with his family. She was in the kitchen, throwing it down in the kitchen, cooking for him and his family.
This is serious.
Very serious.
How long were they together?
Almost a year.
Oh, they did all that in almost a year. Wow.
They were public on Instagram. She did many interviews where she said that he was the nicest, kindest man that she had ever been with.
That's
and
disappointing.
People really root for Megan Thee Stallion because she is a baddie, but she's a sweet girl and vulnerable. And I was bummed out.
Yeah, that's disappointing.
Yeah. All right. On that note, we'll take a break.
We still love you, Megan.
And welcome back to you. I'm meteorologist Maria Quaban. Good Day LA weather is sponsored by Pechanga Resort Casino. We're taking a look outside. Beautiful view of some of these little puffy clouds outside and not really so much producing any rain at the moment. That's the good news. We are looking at diminishing showers with just some lingering clouds, and eventually it'll be a little bit more sunny as we get to the afternoon. But we did have some variable amounts of rain this past weekend, anywhere from Running Springs over 2 inches of rain, so a little bit more than we had expected over the mountain locations. We even got some snow, which we did forecast for that. Hawthorne, just a little over ½ inch of rain. San Gabriel, 1/3 to 2/10 of an inch of rain in Costa Mesa, and a little bit less in Ontario with less than 1/10 of an inch. This is all good. Of course, it helps to just add more moisture in the atmosphere, and it keeps that fire danger on the lower side for us here in Southern California. Now, that low that brought us the rain is going to move off to the northeast. It'll give us some cool temperatures today, and then it'll warm up before the next system moves in. This one we're watching to move just to our south Wednesday, Thursday, so there is another opportunity for some isolated showers or very light showers late Wednesday into Thursday, and then it'll warm up. Friday, Saturday should be the warmest of the week as we start our next weekend. Temperatures, though, today will be cooler than average, around 66 in Inglewood, 81 in Indio, to that 68 in Bakersfield. Here's a quick look at our day planner for Big Bear. It should get up to the mid-40s, but with plenty of sunshine, so much drier today. Palm Springs also a little cooler, only in the upper 70s this afternoon. Back to you.
All right, do you need food for your next party or even a wedding? 7-Eleven is now stepping into the catering game. They're offering options like breakfast tacos, pizza, and lunch boxes. The company is teaming up with Easy Cater, making it simple to order for everything from office meetings to big events. The menu features favorites from Speedy Cafe and Laredo Taco Company, and officials say it's about bringing quick, everyday food to any occasion.
Wait, so it's not directly from 7-Eleven then? I'm confused.
The third party that gives you the 7-Eleven food?
Okay.
Would you guys, cater an event?
I mean, I would do like a 4th of July or, with like Slurpees and
Not your wedding?
No, I don't think so. If you got married on 7-Eleven, that could be kind of fun for late night. You know how... So now when you get married, you have your dinner and then you have the late night. And we had tacos for our late night.
Right.
So that could be something that people do.
Yeah.
If you get married on 7-Eleven, that's a good idea.
That'd be perfect.
Nachos, maybe some hot dogs.
Hot dogs. There you go.
Chips. Yeah, all of it.
It's 9:30 on this Monday. I'm Roxy Carpadian.
And I'm Sandra Endo. Thanks for joining us. Maria, it was kind of dreary this past weekend.
In some areas, definitely depended on where you were. And for us here in West LA, was not too bad. We had kind of a mix of some sunshine and some clouds, but it's definitely cooler. And it is cooler today, but improving weather, certainly. We had some isolated showers this morning, but it's turning a little bit more sunny, and diminishing showers definitely in the forecast this morning. There is some drying tomorrow, even the better part of Wednesday, before another opportunity for some showers arrives late Wednesday into Thursday. And then it'll be drier again and much warmer, actually, Friday into Saturday. Here's our future cast as we watch that area of low pressure that brought us the rain this weekend move off. And then we'll get a second one here moving in, it looks like late Wednesday into Thursday. So by Thursday afternoon, notice the clouds, even a little bit of that green stuff back in the forecast before it clears out for Friday and Saturday, as you can see here. And then Sunday, another bank of clouds and perhaps some light drizzle as we get into next week, Monday. But that's a long ways away. We won't worry about that now. It's just kind of a heads up as you look ahead. Today, it will be cooler than average, 66 degrees in downtown LA. Today, 70 in Woodland Hills, 67 in San Bernardino. Even in Palm Springs, that 78 is slightly cooler than average, but at least a little more sunshine. There will be some gusty winds there, though, so that will blow around the sand and the dust. So just be aware of that if you're out and about in the low desert. 48 eventually in Big Bear. I'll show you the 7-day forecast in just a couple minutes. Back to you.
From an academic to alleged shooter, the Southern California man accused of Saturday shooting at the White House Correspondents Dinner awaits his first court appearance today.
Mario back with us right now with more, of course, on the investigation and then the manifesto allegedly written by the suspect, Mario.
Yeah, and this could be one of the most revealing pieces of evidence as the investigation continues and the suspect awaits his first court appearance. Investigators are focusing on his writings, or emails, I should say. Law enforcement officials say Allen sent a manifesto to family members shortly before the attack. In it, he reportedly called himself the friendly federal assassin and said he wanted to target Trump administration officials. The writing mocked security at the hotel, expressing shock that he was able to walk in with multiple weapons without being stopped earlier. Investigators have retrieved his phone and other electronics as they look into his digital footprint. Now, Cole Allen's alleged manifesto was obtained by the New York Post, roughly 1,100 words long, and it was reportedly sent to family members just 10 minutes before the attack at the White House Correspondents Dinner. And he reportedly laid out his rules for engagement, detailing why he was going after certain members of Trump's administration. From the alleged manifesto, the suspect laid out a target list ranking from highest to lowest, specifically excluding FBI Director Kash Patel. He also referenced Secret Service agents, writing they would only be targeted if necessary, and claiming he wanted to disable them non-lethally if possible. In another section, the document stated hotel security, Capitol Police, and the National Guard were not to be targeted unless they opened fire, while hotel employees and guests were described as not targets at all. Investigators now building the case, and federal officials say they believe Allen worked alone. And the big question, what may have led to a man described locally as quiet, smart, and polite to be accused of one of the highest profile security breaches in the country, Sandra and Roxia?
Quite a shift, because he was once Teacher of the Year, right, in Torrance, and well-respected in the community.
Yeah,
so,
a recent graduate of Cal State Rancho Dominguez, or I should say Dominguez Hills, a master's in computer science as recently as 2025, and at Caltech Pasadena in 2027. So this is someone who tutored other students. He was described as highly successful, educated, and very polite with people he interacted with.
Yeah, Gigi kept saying everyone that she spoke with there in the neighborhood, they all said highly intelligent. That was one way to describe him. It's also interesting to me that he left out Kash Patel in that letter. I'm curious as to why, right? If he's naming all these names, why specifically him?
Yeah, there's really no indication why he was specifically named as an exclusion of being a target, but there were a lot of specifics that were detailed in this alleged manifesto. He reportedly mentioned that he planned to use buckshot instead of slugs in order to minimize casualties with less penetration through walls. So he actually laid out the types of weapons.
So detailed.
Yeah, very detailed, considering, you know, he may have been trying to keep some of these things under wraps, but
or undetected. right? Which is why he took a train, maybe to D.C. as opposed to flying.
And we don't know if this is something, you know, he may have attempted as far as laying out the plan prior to actually going through with the plan. He may have taken that train months prior to see, you know, how he would do it. Had he checked into that whole hotel before to know where to go and how security was going to work? There's just so many questions, and obviously it's going to take some time to get some of these answers.
And who else may have known about it?
Yeah,
considering some of his family members got that alleged manifesto.
Right. Okay, Mario, thank you so much. Appreciate that. Another story we're following is developing news from a teacher strike in the Little Lake School District.
Yeah, Brooke has the latest on that. Brooke.
Hey there, yeah, the strike is entering its third week today, but there is hope. Both sides are back at the bargaining table, and there will be a new face pulling up a chair. The school board named Monica Johnson as interim superintendent following a marathon emergency meeting Sunday. Johnson was the assistant superintendent of education services. She's also been a teacher herself, a principal at 2 schools in the district. She replaces the district's top leader, Jonathan Vasquez. He retired suddenly Friday, citing health reasons. He had previously said he would leave in the summer. Now, teachers are holding out for better health benefits, smaller classes, and more support for special education programs. But the district is warning of a tightening budget, saying if they overspend, the state can take over, and that would mean losing local control. The union president, though, says the district can afford their demands.
We know that we are fighting the righteous fight. That it's not like we're asking for a raise. We're not asking for anything unreasonable to sustain our health care. It's only 3% of their $70 million budget, so they can easily give us an affordable healthcare choice. We also are fighting to protect our most vulnerable students, the special education students. We would like more grown-ups in the classroom, more support in the classroom. The numbers are rising exponentially, and we are not keeping up with that. So the classrooms, you know, at times cannot be safe.
So back to that interim superintendent here first. Johnson called her new appointment a new phase toward a resolution. And when it comes to negotiations, she says, quote, "We are engaging with urgency." The union president there says to that, well, they need and want a fresh start, and also want strong leaders in the community who are willing to back the education system and support not just the educators, but also the students. Again, that was my interview this morning with the union president. We've also reached out to the school district. Back to you.
I'm glad they're getting coverage and attention on this, because I know earlier on with the LAUSD strike that was looming, there was fear that the LAUSD information would take over and this would kind of be in the shadows, but it looks like they're still getting the attention they deserve.
You know, we here, we're doing our best, right, to make sure that, because I think I said this to the union president this morning, that all the students across our entire state, across our country, matter to us here on Good Day. And so, of course, we're going to continue to cover this story. She also said, you know, on that note, that the state is watching, that other school districts are watching them, and they know that. And part of why they are doing this is they want to be good representation for other teachers across the state who are soon to be, they believe, in this very position.
That's interesting.
Isn't that? Yeah.
A lot of sense. Yeah.
Good point. Yeah.
Absolutely. Thank you, Brooke, for that update. On to this now. The David Geffen Galleries is now the new home for LA County Museum of Art's permanent collection.
That's right. Let's go to Coco live to show us more. Good morning.
Hey there, if you love museums like I do, then you're probably already counting down the days until David Geffen Galleries opens up to the public, and we're just 1 week away. We are inside of the Keck Education Center now. I am here with Naima, who is the Senior Vice President of Education and Public Programs, and right now it's quiet in here, but this is going to be a very busy spot, right?
Yes, it is. This is going to be our hub for families, for kids. What you're going to see in here is you can walk in and there'll be free hands-on art making anytime the museum is open. There'll also be art classes here, camps. So yeah, there's not as much up at this exact second, but you could imagine this space coming alive when there's families and kids being inspired by what they see upstairs, coming right here, making anything that they want to make that they've seen, again, from upstairs. What makes this space amazing is that it's right off of Wilshire Boulevard. So anyone off the street, and like I said, with their kids or their families, could come in, drop in, made artwork completely for free. You don't have to buy a ticket into the galleries to be able to make work. And so we're just so excited to be able to welcome families back. I think Michael Govan, our director, was really intentional about making this space so visible. We are right around the corner from a cafe. We are right here on the main plaza. So again, as soon as families come from seeing the galleries, they can come downstairs and they could say, what did you see upstairs that really inspired you? What was something that really caught your eye? Or what color did you see that you really want to make yourself? And so they'll be able to do that in this space anytime the museum is open.
That's huge. That is going to be monumental for parents and families. And also great is you have this event coming up on Sunday, right? Or next Sunday.
Yes, next Sunday on May 3rd, we have our Next Gen LA celebration, which is our free membership program for kids who are 17 years and younger. They are the members. Their caregiver is the person that they can get in for free. And on May 3rd, we'll have DJs, Bob Baker, Marionette, the puppets. We'll have hands-on art making throughout the plaza, a way to kind of just invite families and welcome families to the new David Geffen galleries.
So we've all been watching this transformation, the construction for the past 7 years. When people come to David Geffen galleries, what do you think they're going to get a sense of? How is it going to be different?
I think what they're going to get a sense of is just the breadth and depth of our collection. We have, textiles from thousands of years ago. We have contemporary art that was made 2 years ago. I think the beauty of the David Geffen galleries is you'll be able to wander, discover something new, see something from your favorite artist, Van Gogh or Monet or Monet, but then also see newer work from more contemporary artists, either based here or somewhere throughout the world. So I think what's amazing about the David Geffen galleries is they're all on one level, that you're meant to kind of, go from gallery to gallery, see something new, learn something new, and come over and over and over again.
Thank you so much, Naima.
Can't wait to welcome everyone.
Oh my gosh, I know it's going to be huge. It's going to be busy and for good reason. And this is going to open to the public on May 4th. I'll send it back to you.
All right, Coco, what a great event there. Thank you so much for the preview.
We have some breaking news right now. Let's get to that up in Sky Fox Stu. We've got a house fire in Pico Union.
That's right, a house fire with injuries and 2 other homes damaged. This is all happening in the Pico Union area, right at the corner of Bonnie Bray and 11th Place. LA City Fire Department arriving here on scene. One of those structures fully involved in fire, but that fire actually did spread to neighboring buildings. One of them I'm showing you right there, and the other one right next door, a newer construction, not even completed. Now, LA City Fire Department, when they arrived here on scene, apparently there were 2 people trapped on the first floor of one of these homes. They have been rescued and are safe. Their condition unknown to us right now. You can see LA City Fire Department still down there working to put out the rest of those flames. Again, though, 2 other structures damaged, 1 completely destroyed, and this all happening in the Pico Union area. LA City Fire Department still working on it. Cost and cause, that'll be under investigation as soon as those flames are completely out. Skyfox will be back after the break along with Good Day LA. We'll be here looking for you.
right, let's take a look at one of the computer models that we use to give you the forecast. This one will show you the moisture that's out there right now. Let me just grab the right button here because I grabbed the wrong one. But there is still some lingering moisture nearby. For the most part, though, we are looking at improving conditions here today. A little more sunshine expected this afternoon into tomorrow. Still this flow coming out of the northwest, so still a little bit cooler, but it will warm up a little bit more tomorrow into Wednesday before another system moves in. And I think this one will move just to our south, and that will increase the cloud cover, I would say, late Wednesday. As you can see here, the clouds develop into Thursday, and we could squeeze a little bit of moisture, some light rain from this system. Not a whole lot, as this model will show you here through Wednesday. We've got a little bit here across parts of the 5 and the Grapevine, and then some of the mountains and foothills will get some of those light showers, it looks like. So some really isolated areas will get some measurable rain. Hopefully that will continue, especially if you've got outdoor plans. Today we do have the smaller west swell moving in 2 to 4 feet. Ventura County, LA County beaches 1 to 3 feet. Orange County and San Diego 60s mostly along our coast with some partly to mostly sunny skies this afternoon. We'll get some clouds late Wednesday into Thursday, and that 10% chance for some showers late Wednesday into Thursday. Again, very light if we get any. 66 for downtown LA, back to the 70s tomorrow and Wednesday, and then a bigger warm up as we get to Friday and Saturday. Valleys 70 today, back up to the low 80s by Friday and Saturday. The mountains 48. We did have some snow up there. We'll get some light shower chances by Thursday here, but a much drier weekend ahead. High desert 65, some gustier winds there. That 10% chance for some showers as well midweek into Thursday. And then the Coachella Valley, 78 today in Palm Springs, getting to those 90s as we get to the weekend. Back to you.
All right, new this morning, Governor Gavin Newsom is issuing more $50,000 rewards to help crack some cold cases here in California. The governor's office highlighted 27 cold cases from across the state. 10 of those are from Southern California. One of those cases involves the killing of 16-year-old Tioni Diaz. She was found shot to death along the 110 freeway back in 2022. Officials hope the renewed reward will encourage anyone with information to come forward and help bring answers to her family.
And you only have 3 days to visit an iconic brewery in downtown LA. Angel City Brewery will be closing its doors for good come Thursday. It was founded 30 years ago in Culver City, and after a couple of moves has been a fun gathering spot in LA's arts district since 2010. Angel City is owned by Boston Beer Company, best known for its Samuel Adams, Twisted Tea, and Angry Orchard brands. Angel City closure follows the shutdown of Truly LA, the adjacent taproom, also owned by Boston Beer. Home security company ADT says cybersecurity systems were breached and someone accessed the personal information of customers and prospective customers. The information included names, phone numbers, addresses, dates of birth, the last 4 digits of social security numbers, or tax IDs. The company says no payment information was accessed. ADT says everyone who was impacted has been notified, and the company plans to offer free identity protection.
Thousands of children's electric toothbrush boxes are being recalled. The Autobrush Sonic Pro Kids toothbrushes the boxes themselves violate the mandatory standard for products containing button cell or coin batteries. They have a lithium coin battery that can be easily accessed by children, posing a choking hazard. The packaging also does not include the required warning labels. They were sold online at tryautobrush.com from March 2023 through last December. Thousands of pairs of electrically heated socks sold at Costco are being recalled because of potential burn injuries. The socks were sold in Costco stores and Costco.com from last August through last month. 32 degrees heat appears on the packaging. So if you have these, please stop using them immediately and return them to Costco for a full refund. The world of pro sports is getting a digital upgrade. AI robots are now competing against humans in real-world sports. Sony AI says its robot Ace won 3 out of 5 matches in table tennis, as you see right there, against elite opponents during tests in Tokyo. Researchers say instead of relying on powerful shots, the robot wins through steady, consistent returns, outlasting human players in fast-paced rallies. The company calls it a milestone for physical AI. Is it, though? I mean...
And we are continuing to celebrate the history, culture, and contributions of Armenian Americans in our community. One local artist turning everything from utility boxes to crosswalks into colorful expressions of culture. In Glendale, art is showing up in some unexpected places. You can see artist Arpine Shakbandaryan's work in many corners of the city. She credits a teacher at Glendale High School who recognized her talent.
Mrs. Lowe, and she actually told me that I had a talent for art. She encouraged me, and I went to private art school, which is also in Glendale. Vladimir Altanyan, he's a world-renowned, well-known artist and professor. He had never seen someone at my age, a teenager, sit still for that long.
It was there that she was introduced to a style that would shape her career.
He actually introduced me to the Armenian illuminated manuscript art. He gave me my first gold leaf, and that's where I created one of my well-known pieces, which is Saint Echmiadzin. So it started from there.
Armenian illuminated manuscripts are known for their detailed designs, decorative letters, and gold leaf. Now, her specialty. The city of Glendale has created public art programs through its Arts and Culture Commission and public works projects, giving local artists like Arpine a chance to help beautify the community.
Bringing people together and bringing different art forms together. That's why I really love applying for those public artworks.
One of her designs, called Glendale in Bloom, showcases the diverse community in a bouquet. Interwoven are flowers from Glendale's sister cities, including Armenia's
poppy, which is love, the American rose, the Bayahiba rose of the Dominican Republic, the cherry blossom of Japan, the dahlia of Mexico, the jasmine of the Philippines, and the hibiscus of South Korea. So all of these flowers are actually coming together in this bouquet, and there's the jacaranda branches, which is the official City of Glendale tree. The peacocks are sitting on the branches, and it's just wrapping around the utility box.
Arpine also weaves personal history into her work. For example, her crosswalk design on West Broadway was inspired by a family heirloom.
I love rugs. It's an ancient form of not only for homes as a functional item, but it's also tells stories. Rugs were used to weave community stories. My grandmother, Aghavni Shakbandaryan, she wove a rug. So now, being 100 years ago, that I have. It's an heirloom that my father passed on to me. And I wanted to kind of tell the story of Glendale in that form. I wanted it to be art. I wanted the symbols to be geometric, but I also wanted the rug feeling to come through.
For Arpine, it isn't about the size of what she's doing. It's about meaning, connection, storytelling. Her work continues to bring people together.
If it brings them joy, when the artwork brings them joy, they celebrate together.
You can keep an eye out for her work around the city and public places. In the meantime, she is quite busy with her custom commissions for private collections and special occasions. There you see the website artbyarpine.com. You can give her a follow and check out the rest of her work.
It's so beautiful how she really brings a lot of color into Glendale. The crosswalks are so pretty, but also, as you said, they have meaning.
They do.
And rich history.
Yeah, I love that. I love that one with the bouquet because it really symbolizes the entire diverse community of Glendale, right? With all the different communities represented. So
a splash of color on every corner
makes a difference.
Right? Yeah,
it does.
Very beautiful.
All right.
So talented.
We'll be right back. Good morning and welcome to your Monday. It is 10 a.m. and we do begin this hour with the very latest on the shooting at the White House Correspondents Dinner.
The man accused of attempting to storm the White House Correspondents Dinner over the weekend and opening fire is due in federal court today. 31-year-old Cole Allen from Torrance is set to be arraigned as investigators look into his motivations.
The Secret Service rushed President Trump, Melania Trump, and other members of the cabinet out of the ballroom. Surveillance shows the gun battle between the suspect and law enforcement. As Douglas Ada reports, there are also questions about the event's security.
From the first sounds of muffled gunfire, it takes a few moments for what's happening to sink in. And then security begins to rush the dais, and those around the room take cover.
By that time, we started to realize maybe it was a bad problem, different kind of a problem.